I'm Chandler Smith.
Crossed the line, and Chandler Smith has scored the win.
The following is a presentation of the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series has returned to the world's most famous beach for a visit on the high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. With 5 races remaining in the regular season, the battle for the top spot is heating up as Cole Custer paces the pack. But nipping at his heels is Justin Allgaier, who's coming off an impressive outing at Michigan International Speedway.
Justin Allgaier up front with a 3-car length lead. Now they're crashing on the back straightaway. One car gets turned and into the outside wall as Allgaier leads him back to the corner.
Caution flag is out. We got a car upside down rolling into the grass in turn number 3. That's Kyle Sieg. Justin Allgaier with the caution flag in the air along with the checkers. He will win the Cabo Wabo Tequila 250 at Michigan International Speedway. Trailing Custer by just 12 points, Allgaier goes into tonight's race with an opportunity to dethrone the reigning series champion from the top spot. Live from Daytona International Speedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series presents the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola, exclusively on the Motor Racing Network.
Drivers, start your engine!
The Motor Racing Network presents NASCAR Live Race Day.
All right, man, be ready here.
From Daytona International Speedway.
Ready. Bringing.
Brought to you by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com.
Hello again and welcome. Tonight it is the NASCAR Xfinity Series under the lights at Daytona International Speedway, located just 5 miles from the world's most famous beach. Alongside Alex Hayden, my name is Jeff Striegel. Live on the Motor Racing Network, it is the Wawa 250 for 38 race teams, the 22nd race of this season. 5 races remain before the playoffs begin, and Alex, at the moment, none bigger than what lies ahead here tonight.
Yeah, for those who have won a race already, you want to win, and you want to win here at Daytona. For those who have not won and want to get into the playoffs, well, there's not a better place to do it than punch your ticket right here at the World Center of Racing. It doesn't matter what month it is, Jeff. It doesn't matter what day it is. It doesn't matter half the time what the weather is. Bottom line, you want to win at Daytona.
And you race them nowhere in the world like you race them here at Daytona. What do we expect here tonight? You've got Austin Hill in the field, and realistically, we could just start there and end there. A 3-time winner at this racetrack. What is it about Austin Hill? Maybe what is it about that entire organization, Richard Childress Racing, that just makes them so good here?
Yeah, RCR is just good, and it starts with the race team. You mentioned Austin Hill and his 3 wins here. Yes, he's got those in his back pocket, but those 3 wins came in the February race. Austin Hill has never finished higher than 14th in the summer race here. So, yeah, he knows how to win here, but he's only done that in February.
He's going to start from the front row today. Chandler Smith, by the way, scored the pole earlier today. Austin Hill will start alongside, and he's with our Steve Post of Halstead, Pennsylvania.
Starting in that number 2 spot is Austin Hill. So, Austin, you are a 3-time winner. You're a 3-time winner here at Daytona, but that's in February. What do we need to do? What's been the challenge? What's different about running here under the lights in the summertime?
I don't know if there's really a whole lot different. It's just when it comes to the end of these races, you kind of have a 50-50 shot on winning the race, and I feel like every race that we've ran here at Daytona, we've always positioned ourselves in the right spot or in a good spot to get the job done. And just some mishaps have happened in the past here for this particular race. Just getting caught up in wrecks, or maybe it's my fault, just trying to be a little too aggressive at the wrong time. So, if we can just minimize our mistakes today and we can run up front and be where we want to be with 5 to go, I think we have as good a chance as anyone to get the job done, just like we've done here in February. So, have a lot of faith in my spotter, Derek Nealon, and I. We work really well together, so hopefully we can keep our Bennett Chevrolet and Global Chevrolet up front all day and be there when it matters most.
He's starting up front. He wants to finish up there. That's Austin Hill. He starts in the 2nd spot.
Starting in the number 1 spot is Chandler Smith. He'll be a playoff contender. He's already picked up wins this year at Phoenix and Richmond Raceway. This driver spotlight is presented by Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. Let's go to Alan Cavana from Glastonbury, Connecticut.
Chandler Smith will have the best view tonight starting on the pole. You hear the term controlling the race. What does that mean to you that you get to control this race at the start?
It's big. It just makes everybody's life easier from the pit box, pit road. Just need to maintain that and stay up front, try to stay out of all the wrecks and whatnot. And, you know, starting on the front row definitely helps that, not being in the hornet's nest or anything like that. So looking forward to tonight's race, and hopefully we can keep our number 81 Quick Type Products GR Super up front.
What wins this race, patience or aggression?
Patience all the way to about lap 90.
Chandler Smith, he's got the plan tonight.
It is the Wawa 250 powered by Coca-Cola. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is here tonight at Daytona International Speedway. Driver introductions are complete. The drivers have been loaded on board Toyota Tundras and taken around the ball field portion of the racetrack along the main grandstands. We'll visit with more of them when we come back from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Good weather out the window, at least at the moment. Welcome back to just outside of Daytona Beach, Florida, Daytona International Speedway. Glad to have you with us. Jeff Striegel alongside Alex Hayden down on pit road tonight. The Postman, Steve Post, Brad Gilley, and Alan Cavana. Good weather at the moment. It is Daytona. It is Daytona in August, and that always means we got to keep a little eye on the radar. But for right now, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're going to be great the rest of the night. I don't think we're going to have any problem now. If you're over Lake Mary,
Can I make a note of that?
Yeah, please do.
Right.
If you're over Lake Mary, Orlando area, you've got your bumper shoots out. That is for sure. It's 82 degrees and overcast here at the world center of racing. Promises to be a great one here tonight in the Wawa 250 as the drivers continue to be introduced to the crowd, taking a lap around the front side of this big racetrack, waving to all the fans. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Back here at the World Center of Racing, the NASCAR Xfinity Series teams and drivers getting prepared to run here tonight in an important race. And when you look at the playoff points and where we are with that scenario, it couldn't be much tighter than that. Sammy Smith is the last driver in by 1 point over Ryan Sieg. Both drivers have had success here at Daytona on the high banks.
And then, of course, it won't be long. We'll be racing for a championship. Cole Custer knows a lot about that. Let's visit with Cole Custer right now before Daytona with the postman.
Cole Custer ready to go, taking a walk around his Mustang here, Cole. As you prepare for a race at Daytona, what goes through your mind? What's your mind working on here as you get ready to go?
Oh, the biggest thing is, with no practice now, you're probably going to take the first few laps to just make sure everything's all right, and then you're going to go for it, It's a race where you want to be towards the front, but you also have to keep your eyes open, It's going to be crazy. A lot of guys are trying to lock themselves into the playoffs, and I think we have a good Fantic Ford Mustang for tonight. Should draft good and should have a shot at it. Just got to be there at the end.
There we go. That's Cole Custer ready to roll off here today. He's going to start, I believe, in the number 14 spot.
Cole Custer, rather unassuming. He can be rather demure away from the race car, but when he grabs two fists full of steering wheel, Cole Custer is a completely different person, as is Justin Allgaier, our latest winner in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. He did it 1 week ago in Michigan. Let's hear from Justin Allgaier as he gets set to go tonight. He's with Brad Gilley from Fort Worth, Texas.
Not only win last week in Michigan, Justin, but you are the defending winner of this race here at Daytona as well. Big smile on your face, obviously, but hey, you've got 5 more playoffs points on the line, maybe even 7 of them. What do you think about the race tonight?
Well, you're exactly right. We've done a great job this year of bringing fast Camaros to the racetrack each and every week, but as we were talking about before we got on air, it's not been as easy as we'd like for it to be. We've been able to put ourselves in those positions, but we haven't been able to capitalize on the days that we've had fast cars. So to get into victory lane last week was obviously really cool. We got another fast Camaro this weekend. We got Sam's Club and Hellman's on the car. And I would love nothing more than to go back-to-back here at Daytona, to go back-to-back to last weekend in Michigan. But there's 37 other drivers that want that same thing. And a lot of it just comes down to the team. I'm super proud of the 7 team and everybody at Junior Motorsports, Hendrick Engine Shop. They put a lot of effort into these weeks, and it's never easy. We qualified okay. Wasn't as good as we'd like for it to be, but the goal here is to be as fast as Xfinity on the last lap, not the first lap or not during qualifying, and I think we got a great shot at that. So we're going to go for it tonight, go have some fun, and hopefully gain some more points and put ourselves in a better position in this regular season championship picture.
All right, Justin Allgaier looking to go back-to-back in a couple different ways, guys.
All right, Brad, thank you very much. 25 Chevrolets, 8 Fords, and 5 Toyotas make up the 38 cars and the 38 race teams that are on the property for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the Wawa 250 powered by Coca-Cola. What do you think of the stages? How does this race race play out in your mind, Alex?
Well, we'll go to lap number 30 to the end of stage number 1. We'll go another 30 laps to lap 60 to end stage 2. Of course, 250 miles on a 2.5-mile racetrack. That means 100 laps is the total distance. This is going to be a fun one strategically tonight.
With Chandler Smith and Austin Hill together on the front row, A.J. Allmendinger and Joe Graff Jr. make up row 2. Pre-race ceremonies on deck. Let's take you downstairs now.
At this time, please rise as you are able. Gentlemen, remove your hats, and veterans, render a hand salute as the Olympic Heights High School Junior ROTC Color Guard presents our nation's colors. Here to offer tonight's invocation, please welcome the Dean of Students with Riverbend Academy, Christopher Johnson.
Let us pray. Our Father, creator and sustainer of all things, thank you for the chance to gather this evening. We praise you for the gift of technology and are thankful for the hard work that each of the teams have exerted to produce these incredible race cars. We pray for safety for the drivers and their teams. We thank you for the chance for the fans to come out and enjoy community together. We pray for our local, state, and national leaders and for the work of our military around the world. And finally, we give thanks for the gift of salvation through the Lord Jesus Christ. We bless you, Father, in Jesus' name, amen.
Here to perform our national anthem, please welcome top 6 finalists on NBC's The Voice and award-winning Nashville singer-songwriter, Jordan Rayner.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Pre-race ceremonies wrapping up here at Daytona. Final fist bumps getting in with the drivers and their teams, and they'll swing a leg over the window and into the cockpit of the race cars. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is next. Tonight is the 66th time the NASCAR Xfinity Series is set to compete on the high banks at Daytona. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
I'm Brian Schaller, president at Wawa. Welcome to the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola. We are thrilled to present one of NASCAR's most anticipated events at a track that prioritizes high speed and agility, just as we at Wawa pride ourselves on being fast and nimble at our over 1,000 convenience stores across our 6 states. As a fast-growing convenience retailer with over 250 stores and 10,000 associates in the Sunshine State, we're proud to serve you each and every day. Well beyond the coffee, hoagies, and other products we offer, Wawa specializes in building stronger communities by bringing together friends and neighbors. We thank our incredible partners at Coca-Cola and Coke Florida for being here alongside us and helping make this race possible. Now, let's all grab an ice cold Coca-Cola, a Wawa hoagie, and get this race started. Good luck, everyone.
Live on the Motor Racing Network, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
Get a big thumbs up. Get ready to rock and roll past the race cars today, pal. Pull boys, let's execute. Have a good day.
Tonight, the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola, from Daytona International Speedway. Sponsored by Coke Zero Sugar. Tackle race day with the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. By Geico. Geico's mobile app has 24/7 claim service and on-the-go policy info. Get more with Geico. By Blue Green Vacations, the official vacation ownership provider of NASCAR, invites you to believe in the power of vacation. By Hands-Free Skechers Slip-Ins. Just step in and go. By Toyota. For the latest Toyota racing information, visit toyotaracing.com. And by Sunoco. From NASCAR to your car, Sunoco Fuel helps your car reach peak performance.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, closing in on the command. Glad to have you with us here Friday night under the lights. Let's talk about this, Alex, with 5 races remaining. Before we run for the championship, how hard? What does this mean? I was going to say, how hard do you run? I think we know the answer to that. You're running as hard as you can. Obviously, you want to come out of here with a victory. But if you're one of those drivers that's kind of on that cut line, that bubble, what's your plan going in?
Just keep the fenders straight. You got to be around at the end of this thing to maximize your points evening here at Daytona. Let's get the command.
Daytona, this is the moment you've been waiting for. Please welcome Wawa Director of Store Operations, Karen Myers, Kevin McGrath, and Wally Goose.
Race fans, are you ready?
Wally! Are you ready? Drivers, start your engines!
That's the way you do it on a Friday night. It is the Wawa 250 powered by Coca-Cola, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, live and next right here on the Motor Racing Network. Three former winners in the field here tonight. Jeremy Clements went to victory lane here in August of 2022. Justin Allgaier 1 year ago. And Austin Hill has won here at Daytona on 3 separate occasions. All of those in the month of February. Your starting lineup is coming up next from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
starting lineup.
Sam Mayer changed out an engine. Sam Mayer will start tonight 38th. Tim Bienz will start 37th. Ryan Ellis will start 36th. Starting 35th, Joey Gase. Kyle Sieg will start 34th. Josh Bilicki will start 33rd. Akinori Ogata will start 32nd. Starting 31st, Brennan Poole.
CJ McLaughlin will go from 30th. Blaine Perkins starts 29th. Matt DiBenedetto is the 28th starter, with Gus Dean going 27th. Ryan Sieg will start 26th. Jordan Anderson starts 25th, and Sammy Smith goes 24th. Patrick Emmerling will take the green flag in the 23rd starting spot. Jeffrey Earnhardt starts 22nd, and Jeff Burton 21st.
Leland Honeyman will start 20th. Shane Van Gisbergen will start 19th. Kyle Weatherman will start in position 18. Cesar Baccarella will start 17th. Brandon Jones will start 16th. 15th, Parker Retzloff. Cole Custer will go from 14th. Jeremy Clements will roll from position 13, starting 12th. Parker Kligerman, and last week's winner, Justin Allgaier, he'll start 11th.
Josh Williams will go 10th. Anthony Alfredo 9th. Riley Herbst starts 8th, with Sheldon Creed going 7th. Ryan Truex will start 6th. Jesse Love will go 5th. The 4th starter is Joe Graff Jr. A.J. Allmendinger will go to post in position number 3. Austin Hill will go 2nd, and Chandler Smith leads the field with the green flag tonight.
He cut a lap earlier today at 181.189 miles an hour around this 2.5 mile super speedway. It is the Daytona International Speedway. Let's take you for a swing around the racetrack right now. The field already starting to form up over in turn number 1. Now just outside of turn number 2 from Barrie, Vermont, it is Dave Moody.
Thank you, Jeff Striegel, and good evening once again, everybody. Welcome to turns 1 and 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. This is the west end of the complex. The banking is 31 degrees, wide enough to run 2 wide with ease, 3 wide for much of the evening if they choose to do so, 4 wide strictly for emergencies only. That banking falls away to just 5 degrees as they spill out onto the Daytona super stretch. As usual, at this time of year in Daytona, you keep one eye on the track and one eye on the sky. For the moment, we look pretty good. Any meteorological malfeasance in the area appears to be well to our west, either mid-state or actually over on the west coast of the state of Florida. So we'll hope for the best weather-wise here tonight as well. Now let's go to the other end of the super stretch in Milford, Delaware's Mike Bagley.
Thank you, Dave. Good evening, everybody. The field making their first run up this super stretch so far tonight at Daytona. A couple things are different than when we were here last in February. First, let's get to know, or get to what we know. It's all about the draft and the importance of it and getting help when you step out of line. The more help you have, the more positions you're going to gain. The less folks that step out with you is going to be costly because you need people to help you get to the front. The lack of those people will send you to the back. So it's all about managing the draft, managing your drafting partners, and obviously managing the timing of when you step out to execute such maneuvers. The biggest thing that's different from when we were here in February, there used to be grass that lined the inside of the Daytona Superstretch. That has been replaced with a fresh new coat of asphalt from the exit of turn 2 to the entrance of turn number 3. That should prevent any cars that spin to the inside from getting up in the air and barrel rolling like Ryan Preece did 1 year ago. When the field races by me at the end of the Daytona Superstretch, they will race up into the view in turns 3 and 4 of Chris Wilner of Carmel, Indiana.
Thank you, Mike, and good evening, everyone. From high atop the Sunoco Tower outside of turn number 4 here at the World Center of Racing, the field will complete a 3,000-foot run down the Superstretch back into that 31 degrees of banking here on the east end of the speedway in turns 3 and 4. 2 and 3 wide racing as expected, but you better have found your dancing partner at this point in which lane stores that most energy to propel you forward. Also, the potential of green flag pit stops means it's also critical in being in the right lane to peel off the racetrack here off of turn number 4 and avoid the scrum down to the pit lane. Late in the race, also this area, final opportunity to line up for the big last push down the 1,900-foot chute and back toward the tri-oval. We'll have it all covered here at top turn number 4 here tonight.
And the tri-oval is where the start-finish line is, banked 18 degrees, and that is a lap around the World Center of Racing. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Getting the one-to-go signal right now, as a matter of fact, at the start-finish line. So let's get you down to pit lane for one more thought before the drop of the green flag. Steve Post.
Had a chance this afternoon to catch up with Parker Retzlaff, the 21-year-old from Wisconsin. He's been beat up a little bit over the last month or so. 3 straight finishes of 30-plus. Last week was 20th at Michigan, but boy, Daytona could come at no better time for him. He finished 3rd here in February last year, finished 4th and 7th at this racetrack. Starts 15th tonight. Not only does he like Daytona, he loves Darlington, and he's looking forward to Atlanta. So hopefully for Parker Retzlaff, they can get things turned around on a good stretch of races starting tonight here at Daytona. To the midsection of pit road, Brad Gilley.
Well, Steve, a lot of people are going to talk about Austin Hill and his success here, but don't sleep on his teammate Jesse Love. Remember, Jesse Love opened the season winning the pole at Daytona, winning the pole the next week in Atlanta, and then he won the race at Talladega Superspeedway. Among the 280 laps that Lev has led this year, 229 have come on speedway races. That number 2 car is definitely going to be strong. At the entrance of pit road, how about you, Alan Cavana?
Well, car owner Jordan Anderson doesn't race much, but when he does get behind the wheel, it's at a track like Daytona. Earlier this year, he finished 4th in the Xfinity Series. He's finished 2nd here in a truck before, and once again tonight on the box making the calls is father-in-law and 2-time Daytona 500 winning crew chief Larry McReynolds. That combo, the crew chief who's won here before, and Anderson himself, the driver who's shown he has the patience to make it to the front, will try to finally get that first career NASCAR win tonight.
And there is your broadcast team ready to go to work for you tonight. Alan Cavana, that's the voice you just heard. Then Brad Gilley, Steve Post, they're all on pit road. Mike Bagley is out on the back straightaway. Dave Moody and Chris Wilner are in the turns tonight. My name is Jeff Striegel, and we are ready to go. The Toyota Supra is on pit road, and now for the start. From Goldsboro, North Carolina, here's the Motor Racing Network's Alex Hayden.
Green flag goes in the air, and the Wawa 250 is underway as the lights are on at Daytona. They come through the gearbox for the first time and work their way to the 31 degrees of banking.
Chandler Smith up by a fender on that inside line, but Joe Graff Jr. hanging with him in that outside lane. Graff just now beginning to form up for both lines. It's going to do a little bit better for Graff in that outside line. It's Joe Graff Jr. by half a car length to the super stretch.
They remain side by side up the Daytona Super Stretch. The inside line accordion depart through 1 and 2. It rejoins itself on the back straightaway. A.J. Allmendinger on the back bumper now of the race leader Chandler Smith in 3.
Still neck and neck for the top
look out,
spot.
Jeremy Clements spins to the bottom of the racetrack. They begin to wallop up at the tail end of the field. Several cars crash and collide, triggered when Jeremy Clements spun to the inside of the racetrack, and others were collected heading over to turn 4.
And the carnage continues to come my way as the cars continue to scatter and around. We've got Ryan Ellis has got up in smoke. The right front is damaged. Austin Hill collected in that as well. Major damage on Joey Gase's machine, as well as Akinori Ogata here in turn 4.
So that didn't take very long at all, and we are under the caution flag, and a number of cars collected the caution flags before we complete lap number 1, and it all broke out at the feet of Mike Bagley.
And it started mid-pack on back, Jeff. Everybody was minding their P's and Q's until Jeremy Clements Clements got turned onto the apron, and that set off a chain reaction pileup behind them. The cars began to slide up and make contact with the safer barrier, spinning down to the inside of the racetrack. Jeremy Clements triggered the accident at the end of the Daytona Superstretch.
That's a tough break there on lap number 1 in turn number 3. And Brad, there's a lot of damaged race cars, including Jeremy Clements on the pit lane.
Yeah, Jeremy Clements on the pit lane. He didn't think his car was too bad. I'm standing in front of Austin Hill right now. His car is bad. The left side door, the driver door, torn open. You can see the door foam inside of it. They're not even working on that side of the race car right now. The right side also issues. This is going to be a close one if they're going to make it back out on the racetrack under the DVP clock.
Yeah, that is for sure. So we'll update you on that in just a moment as we work under the caution flag here at Daytona. Working right now, lap number 2. We've yet to complete a lap under the green flag. Back with more in a moment from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. So it all broke out lap 1 down the back straightaway going into turn number 3. It appeared as though Jeffrey Earnhardt got into the back of Jeremy Clements, and that turned him around. Involved in the crash, Austin Hill. Now more on that in a moment. Why was he involved? Because he was scheduled to start up front on the front row. He did not. He started at the tail end of the field. He was involved. CJ McLaughlin involved. Gus Dean making his first career start involved in turn 3. Akinori Ogata involved, Ryan Ellis, and Jeremy Clements, and that put us under the caution flag. And we've run 3 laps now here at Daytona, and all of them with the yellow lights on.
Yeah, that's a tough start to this race, but everybody now can take a deep breath and settle back in and know exactly what they got, at least for a half a lap of racing out there here in the Wawa 250. Tackle race day with the great taste of Coke Zero Sugar. Irresistible taste with zero sugar. Is it the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
So hopefully we'll get everything cleaned up, buttoned up, and we'll be able to get back under the green flag. We do see a number of cars on pit road, so let's visit there right now. Postman, I see Sam Mayer and others in front of you.
Yeah, Sam Mayer is in. They changed tires, and they're working on the left front of that automobile. I know there was a little conversation about running over something, and can't quite see the left front. They're still working up under the left front of the car. About 2 pit boxes behind him, next pit box behind him, Ryan Ellis, and I think they're just waiting for a push back to the garage or a record truck. That car's all wadded up out there. That's my end of pit road. Brad Gilly, what's going on your section?
Right now, Austin Hill is back in. He's getting some bear bond put on the left side where that door got crushed in the door foam. It also knocked his steering out of whack, and he had to re-index his wheels, so that car is not going to drive right. For the number 51 car of Jeremy Clemens, his car is not too bad. The bigger problem he's having right now is radio issues. They actually swapped out his radio on this pit stop. He says he's able to hear the team a little better right now. How about you, Alan Cavana?
Not too much action at the moment here on my section of pit road. Gus Dean has been in and off with a lot of damage on the front of that number 15 for AM Racing. He's the driver filling in this week. Remember, they were hoping to have a good run because Gus Dean won the ARCA race here earlier this season here at Daytona. They gave him a call last week, say, can you drive the 15 car for our Xfinity team this week? They were excited, but he comes in, a lot of damage on the front, bare bond everywhere, and still a huge hole in that front nose, kind of like a big depression right at the front point of that nose. Going to be tough for Arrow all night.
It will be, and when you need it the most drafting here at Daytona, that is tough break as he makes his way actually back to pit lane for some more high-speed tape on the nose of that race car. Cleanup continues. A lot of fluid put down from the accident site in turns 3 and 4 all the way down to pit lane. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. We welcome you back to Daytona. Cleanup continues on as a lot of speedy dry has been put down on the racetrack, and we got a car up off of turn 4 that has gone up in smoke in a big way. That's Gus Dean's car, Jeff. He just gave our Chris Wilner out in the Sunoco Tower outside turn number 4 an eye full of smoke.
Yeah, Chris Wilner has disappeared from sight. Let's go out there and make sure he's still there. Chris, that was a major what would appear to be a engine letting go. The smoke off turn number 4 and directly into your face.
Yeah, right at my feet, Jeff, as the thing just went kaboom, and Gus Dean has pulled his car to the inside, just shy of the entrance of pit road. But you were right, he was coming through turns 3 and 4, and the engine already sounded sour. There was a couple puffs of smoke, and then the whole thing let go. Just the smoke now starting to clear. Some of the folks in the grandstands here at the chute leading into the tri-oval getting a face full of it now, but still some of that speedy dry as well that starts just about the exit of turn 4 all the way to pit road from Akinori Ogata. I would have to assume with the expired engine on Gus Dean's car that we may need a little bit more of that speedy dry here in turns number 4.
Yeah, not very good there, and cleanup was going to continue down there in turn number 4. Alan Cavana, any idea what happened there in the Gus Dean car?
I just asked the team, and they said it's a hole in the oil cooler. They'd actually come down a second time and really put a nice fix on the nose, like a ton of duct tape. They really put it on there nicely, looked as smooth as possible, and it got on and off pit road okay. But as we saw, and as you described, back there on the backstretch, a hole in the oil cooler has ended the day for Gus Dean.
Yeah, that is not recommended. That is not the quick way around here at Daytona. Every lap so far tonight, 6 in all, have been run under the caution flag. Chandler Smith, when we go back to the green flag, Chandler Smith, Joe Graff Jr., A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Truex, and Jesse Love. That is your top 5. Let's just go back real quick. I know, Brad, you mentioned it. Austin Hill starting at the tail end of the field, unapproved adjustments. That put him at the tail end of the field. He's then you mentioned also radio communication. What's the latest for Austin?
So Austin Hill keeps coming down and getting worked on in his race car. And they're going to probably work on this about every opportunity they can, Striegel, because this car is just damaged. Every single corner of the car has damage. Every single corner of the car is getting bare bond. The steering has been knocked loose on this car, and this is the car that actually qualified on the outside pole. So for Austin Hill, who won here back in February, if he's going to do it again here in August, it is going to be a big mountain to climb.
Yeah, it is. Tough early start, not just for Austin Hill, but for so many people. And it's almost worth repeating the dubious number. You mentioned Austin Hill, Jeff, early in the broadcast. He's won 3 times here at Daytona. As a matter of fact, 3 consecutive Daytona races, but they've been all the February races. He's never finished higher than 14th in the summer race here at the World Center of Racing. And, well, if he wants to eclipse that and get that mark better, they have got themselves a lot of work to do.
He's an 8-time winner in this series, and 3 of them come at Daytona in February. The 30-year-old driver from Winston, Georgia. And he is well down the running order. Let's take a look at the running order right now. I mentioned that Chandler Smith, under the caution, is currently out front.
Chandler Smith is the leader. Joe Graff Jr. is second. A.J. Allmendinger third. Ryan Truex goes fourth, and Jesse Love is fifth. Riley Herbst will be scored sixth. Sheldon Creed seventh. Josh Williams is eighth. Anthony Alfredo ninth, and Parker Kligerman is 10th.
Justin Allgaier, who won this race a year ago, he also won a week ago at Michigan, is 11th. Cole Custer is 12th. Brandon Jones 13th. Kyle Weatherman 14th. Jeffrey Earnhardt 15th. 16th at the moment, Leland Honeyman. Jeb Burton 17th. Parker Retzloff 18th. Sammy Smith 19th, and Shane Van Gisbergen is currently 20th.
21st is Patrick Emmerling. 22nd, Matt DiBenedetto. 23rd is Jordan Anderson. Kyle Sieg goes 24th. Josh Bilicki 25th. C.J. McLaughlin will be 26th. Sam Mayer 27th. Brendan Poole 28th. 29th is Joey Gase, and Jeremy Clements is 30th.
Tim Viennes is 31st. Cesar Baccarella 32nd. Ryan Sieg 33rd. Blaine Perkins 34th. Austin Hill right now is being scored 35th. Out of the race, Gus Dean 36th, Ryan Ellis 37th, Akinori Ogata 38th. That's the way they run. All of them under the yellow flag. 7 laps complete, soon to be 8, as they make their way down that long back straightaway. Alex Hayden, what you got your eyes on?
I was watching Ryan Sieg was just on the pit lane. A little bit longer pit stop than most would have under the caution flag. Alan, I saw you standing right there.
Yeah, I was watching. It was a long stop, and they made big adjustments of both the wedge, the track bar, even talked about adding some packer to the front. I don't know if they made that change quite yet. They had to rush off, but I think they may have been worried about some tire wear or some tire issues with that big, the initial incident that we've had that has kept this race under the yellow flag. I'll check in with the crew chief right now, but that's an early pit stop for Ryan Sieg, who is on the bubble line. Every single position, every single stage point means so much to him tonight, so this is an early pit stop for Sieg.
A lot of oil dry laid down in turn number 4. Chris Wilner, it looks like it's cleaned up, buttoned up, and we should be ready to go.
Yeah, so far so good, Jeff. The sweepers had to come by about 3 different times to get that resident kind of worked off the racetrack. Again, that speedy dry. The driver's also blowing through it as they come by my position this time by. But luckily, it looks like cleanup is done. We didn't need to add any more of that speedy dry, and we should be back under the green flag shortly.
We will indeed. The one-to-go signal has just been given. Now, Ryan Sieg, as Alan pointed out, is on that cut line for the last playoff spot, was just on the pit lane. Well, Steve Post, Sammy Smith, he's the other driver battling to get into the playoffs.
Yeah, and Sammy Smith just brought his Chevy down to the pit road as well. He reported to the crew that he felt a vibration, and they decided at this point to change the tire. It was something different. He did not feel it during qualifying, and so they brought the car down, put 4 tires on. Adam Wall, the crew chief on this effort, 4 tires, sent him back out. Hasn't got it up to speed yet, so we'll keep monitoring to see if that vibration was something tire related. They did scan all the tires. They see nothing that looks suspect down here, but sometimes they just mismatch and you don't know what it looks like. We'll see if Sammy Smith has better feeling tires as we go back to green.
And we'll do that in a half a lap, Postman. Beautiful sunset right now out behind us. The main grandstand, we can actually see it in some of the reflections, and you stuck your head out the window and saw it. I guess you did stick it out the window, but you peeked out the window. Let's follow up on Ryan Sieg, Alan Cavana.
Crew Chief Matt Noyce said they just took advantage of this early caution. What they did was they wanted to come down and make a big handling adjustment now to save them time later on in the race, give them a shorter time on pit road. What happened, though, is you mentioned that speedy dry. Just about every car that came onto the pits slid through their box. Because he slid so far through his box, they backed the 39 car of Sieg up and made a tire change. Not that they wanted to, but because they had to after that slide.
Yeah, tough break there. You don't want to flat spot your tires here. And that's a tough one because they're going to be down a set of tires here early on in tonight's race as the field lined up behind the Toyota pace car.
Row 1, Chandler Smith and Joe Graff Jr. Row 2 for the restart, A.J. Allmendinger and Ryan Truex. Row 3, Riley Herbst has Jesse Love alongside. Row 4, Josh Williams and Sheldon Creed. Row 5 for the restart, Parker Kligerman, Anthony Alfredo going under the green flag on lap number 9.
They'll hit through the Geico restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air. On the accelerator and through the gearbox, they go one more time, trying to get the first official complete green flag lap in of the night.
Inside line once again holds sway as they make their way to the end of the front straightaway and into the 31-degree banking, but second time in a row, the outside line begins to percolate now as they come up to full speed. Joe Graff Jr. by a car length up 2.
He will take sole possession of the lead, has thoughts about darting to the inside. Chandler Smith leads that inside line with A.J. Allmendinger right behind him. Instead, it's now Smith that will fall to the inside, right in front of Dinger as Graff leads the way.
Here comes the bottom side now with a bit of momentum as A.J. Allmendinger got a push on the back deck lid of Chandler Smith. Smith out to the front, side by side for second.
And the green lights are on all the way around the racetrack. We're going to complete our first official lap under the green flag, led by Chandler Smith. Side by side there in second, A.J. Allmendinger and Joe Graff Jr.
A.J. shoved Chandler Smith out to the lead, but now he's going to have to try and fight Joe Graff Jr. for the number 2 position. Allmendinger bottom of the racetrack. Joe Graff Jr. top side. Low lane has the advantage. Allmendinger to the 2 spot.
And now Chandler Smith will change lanes from the bottom of the back straightaway. He'll go to the top side in front of Graff. Back to the bottom in front of Allmendinger. Back to the top in front of Graff. Dancing back and forth is race leader Chandler Smith.
Here comes A.J. Allmendinger with a surge for the low lane on the bottom side to turn number 3. Pulls even to Chandler Smith. Now a nose out in front, and he's got Riley Herbst behind. Battle for the lead. Dinger has it by a nose.
He does off turn number 4, headed back to the tri-oval as they come down to the line. It will, however, be A.J. Allmendinger. Another lead change here at Daytona. Allmendinger on the inside lane's got the field behind him.
Allmendinger a lap ago was the drafting partner trying to shove Chandler Smith to the point. He now has abandoned him, as is often the case, and the Dinger goes to the point. Riley Herbst follows him through on the bottom for second.
Meanwhile, a couple of drivers have gotten kicked to a 3-wide line. Jesse Love has gotten kicked out wide. He is falling to the field mid-pack, trying to pick up a draft. Chandler Smith on the comeback trail flies to the inside of Riley Herbst for second.
And he had help from Josh Williams on the inside lane, 3rd car back. Meanwhile, they're still side by side for second. It's A.J. Allmendinger by himself. Chandler Smith, Riley Herbst who's outside for second.
Boy, A.J. from the bottom of the racetrack to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top. This time he can't get back to the top, and Riley Herbst is going to flash by. Riley Herbst Herbst, A.J. Allmendinger side by side for the lead.
Let's see if the Dinger can find some drafting help downstairs. It's on its way now, and here comes Allmendinger back into the fray. Chandler Smith giving a push from behind. Allmendinger by a nose this time.
Side by side, Ford and Chevy for the lead. Riley Herbst and A.J. Allmendinger. For around 10th, they're 3 wide. Starting to get a lane rolling up the middle is Brandon Jones up front. It's all A.J. Allmendinger and Riley Herbst for the lead.
2 by 2 by 2 they go. Here comes Brandon Jones in that Junior Motorsports Chevrolet. 4th car on the inside. The bottom lane has a little bit more momentum now as A.J. Allmendinger races Riley Herbst to the top spot.
Halfway down the short straightaway, back to the tri-oval. Austin Hill with the battered race car did indeed meet minimum speed. So by rule, the damaged vehicle policy clock is now off. Austin Hill has taken his car to the Xfinity Series garage, and since he met minimum speed, they can take their time and repair this race car the best they possibly can.
Top 10 at the moment, 13 laps in. A.J. Allmendinger, Chandler Smith, Riley Herbst, Josh William, and Joe Graff Jr. top 5. Brandon Jones, Ryan Truex, Parker Kligerman, Sheldon Creed, Jupp Burton top 10.
They continue to race and shuffle things up, headed to turn number 3.
Here they go, already a little bit 3 wide from about 4th on back. Riley Herbst caught in the middle to his inside. Parker Kligerman, they're 3 wide for that position. Here comes Riley Herbst trying to lead that middle groove.
And Chandler Smith is going to throw the block there. Josh Williams, Chandler Smith, they're battling for the runner-up spot. Brandon Jones is right there. Joe Graff Jr. is right there. That outside lane beginning to roll now, Dave.
Collick racing off to a solid start with A.J. Allmendinger and Josh Williams in the top 5. 3 wide up the middle. Here comes Brandon Jones trying to bust a move. He'll go 3 wide for position number 3.
It is a 21-car breakaway in this lead pack. That's double wide and 3 wide. First 3 wide battle up the middle is Brandon Jones. He's racing there for about the 8th position, while Chandler Smith brings him back to the corner.
Huge momentum gain on the bottom side has Brandon Jones going the wrong direction. Parker Kligerman gave a big shot to Josh Williams, who will close in on your race leaders. Back bumper, A.J. Allmendinger this time.
2 distinct drafting groups right now as the field breaks up just a bit as they come down to the line to complete lap number 15. That gives us 15 to go here in stage number 1. We'll get you back to the action in a moment. First, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live at Daytona International Speedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series in the midst of the Wawa 250. I'm Alex Hayden. Alongside is Jeff Striegel. Got Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Chris Wilner in the turns, and up and down the pit lane, we have Steve Post. We've got Brad Gilley and Alan Cavana.
Top 5 at the moment, Chandler Smith, Joe Graff Jr., A.J. Allmendinger, Ryan Truex, and Josh Williams. 16 laps are complete.
As they work their way back to turn number 1, Chandler Smith continues to be the race leader. Chandler Smith continues to show the way. 4 Toyotas occupy the front 4 spots. Joe Graff Jr. second, Ryan Truex third, Sheldon Creed is 4th, and the Chevrolet of Jesse Love rounds out the top 5. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Back at Daytona as we work under the green flag. 20 laps will go on the board next time by. That will give us 10 to go here in stage number 1. Austin Hill was caught up in a big crash in turn 3 of the opening lap of the race, and Brad Gilly, he has since taken his car to the garage where the team can continue repairs.
And he sits inside of that car while it's up on 4 jack stands, and there are crew members on every side, on every corner, below, above the car, everywhere trying to fix Austin Hill's car. When it went back out onto the track, it quickly lost the field. Austin was barely able to make minimum speed, as you guys had mentioned. That's why they're able to repair this car in the garage. The biggest problem, Austin Hill got on the radio and told his crew chief, Andy Street, this car is shaking so bad I can't even breathe right now. So they're going over everything to make sure the suspension is tight, to make sure the bodywork is secure. They have bare bond, they have rivets, they have screws, they have everything they're throwing at it to try and get Austin Hill's car back out on the racetrack. In fact, the drive shaft is out of the car right now. That's how deep they're going with this.
Yeah, they are 9 down already, and that laps down is going to grow lap after lap. Meanwhile, A.J. Allmendinger leads in front of Chris Wilner.
And he does, as now the high lane has been the preferred groove. A.J. leads a train, including Parker Kligerman and Chandler Smith off the corner.
Down to single digits remaining in stage number 1. 9 to go as A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman, a couple of orange and white Chevrolets, are at the top side of the racetrack headed to turn 1.
Allmendinger for the moment will stay up next to the safer barrier on entry into turn number 1. Leader of the pack down on the inside is Justin Allgaier. He's going to run side by side with Chandler Smith for third. Now pull up on Parker Kligerman for second.
Here they come off turn number 2 and up the Daytona Superstretch. A.J. Allmendinger still in command with the lead. Downstairs in that Hellman Chevrolet, Justin Allgaier trying to power that Mayo missile to the point, and he's up to 4th.
He is, and he's got Ryan Sieg in tow behind, as well as Jesse Love, but it's about 10 to 12 car lengths, or 12 cars on the top side that have the momentum. It's A.J. Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman off the corner.
Ryan Sieg up 18 spots since we put him under the green flag. He was working that inside groove, and he is lined up right behind Justin Allgaier. Right behind Sieg comes Jesse Love.
Ordinarily in the early going, opening stage of one of these races, the bottom is the superior lane. They're at least equal right now, maybe a small advantage up on the top side. That's where A.J. Allmendinger has built his tent, at least so far.
But the inside line has momentum building. It's led by Allgaier. He was 4th last time through. Now he's up to 3rd. Now he's up to 2nd. Here comes Justin Allgaier to the inside of Allmendinger for the lead.
Side by side into turn number 3, Ryan Sieg's going to have a big run up to the back bumper of Justin Allgaier on the low lane. Jesse Love in tow. The first 5 rows now even off the corners. Allgaier looks for the lead.
Allgaier trying to lead for the first time here tonight in the Wawa 250s on the bottom of the racetrack. He will be successful in that endeavor. Allgaier becomes our 3rd different driver to leave early on.
A.J. Allmendinger's not going to give it up without a fight, though. He stays right with him, stride for stride in the outside lane. Now Allgaier will take the lead down low by a full car length. That opens up the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Sieg down to the inside for second.
Ryan Sieg to the inside of the racetrack as Allgaier will jump up in line on the outside. Sieg leads the lane down low. That lane is up to position number 4 in a side-by-side battle with Chandler Smith.
Ryan Sieg backing up to Jesse Love, trying to get the bottom reorganized, but there goes Justin Allgaier, your leader, back to the top. It's Justin Allgaier leading A.J. Allmendinger in that high groove.
And Ryan Sieg on the bottom groove, but don't be surprised when Allgaier slides down across the nose of Ryan. Right now he's going to take his car topside. It's Justin Allgaier running right in front of A.J. Allmendinger.
Fending off the advances of Allmendinger as they hit the 31-degree banking. Now he'll slide down across the nose of the Ryan Sieg machine. Trying to play some defense against 2 lanes at the same time. He's back to the top on the super stretch.
Playing both ends against the middle right now is Justin Allgaier. He started on the inside of 2, went up to the outside of the racetrack, but here comes that inside line. Ryan Sieg trying to do it all by himself, and he's up to 2nd.
Justin Allgaier takes the Mayo missile back to the bottom to try to pick up Ryan Sieg. That leaves the door on the top lane open for A.J. Allmendinger. Here comes Parker Kligerman as the top lane starts to form.
Valuable stage points on the line in just 5 more laps as we close in on the end of stage number 1. Inside lane led by Justin Allgaier. Top outside. That's led by A.J. Allmendinger.
Difference of about a half a car length as they race their way into turn number 1. Allmendinger can't quite keep the momentum rolling in that outside lane right now. It's Allgaier with the lead. 2 car lengths up. They're now 3 wide for position number 2. Jesse Love up the middle.
Jesse Love comes right up the gut out of 2. He needs more drafting help because now he begins to fall like a rock halfway down the back straightaway. Now he is falling back close to outside of the top 10.
Yeah, Jesse Love lost his help. Cole Custer fading in the wind, so it's still 2 by 2. The front 4 rows, they're 3 wide, a little farther back, but Allgaier leads the outside lane. Ryan Sieg on the bottom.
Jesse Love was battling for second. Now he's going to fall outside of the top 10 in a matter of 1 lap. That's how quickly things can change, Dave Moody. No change at the front among the top 2. It's Allgaier and Allmendinger.
They've been at the front most of the evening so far. They remain 1 and 2 right now. 3rd spot belongs to Parker Kligerman. 4th on the inside. First man in that low line, it's Ryan Sieg.
Race side by side with Chandler Smith out of turn number 2 there. Everybody now in a relative calm racing situation. No one pressing a 3 wide move. Everybody stacked up double wide from 5th on back.
It's all Team Chevy at the front of the field in the high groove, led by Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, and Parker Kligerman. Here comes the bottom trying to form again. Ryan Sieg leading that charge with Anthony Alfredo.
With the NASCAR Xfinity Series, you are allowed to tap back bumpers and help propel the competition forward. You are not, however, allowed to lock bumpers and keep that sustained any given time. They continue to race into turn 1.
It continues to be Justin Allgaier hanging onto that outside lane and blocking the advances of A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman. First man downstairs continues to be Ryan Sieg as he runs forward.
Ryan Sieg doing a great job of leading that inside line. The problem is he doesn't have enough drafting help to get him up there and race for the lead. He's losing spot by spot, lap by lap. Anthony Alfredo darts out of line trying to get a run on Sieg, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, Ryan Sieg now falling into the clutches of Ryan Truex, who's to the outside of him. It's now a 7-car breakaway at the top lane, led by Justin Allgaier. Ryan Sieg continues to go the wrong direction.
Yeah, he was 5th, then he was 6th. Now he's battling for 7th. He's got Josh Williams right there behind him and Anthony Alfredo. We are down to the final 2 laps in the stage as the field makes its way back to turn 1.
Single file, everybody upstairs back through the top 8, maybe 9 positions as Sieg continues to throw out the anchor and drop backward in that low line. Most of his drafting help is now abandoning.
Sieg is side by side with Brandon Jones for 10th. Now he'll fall to 11th. A lot of drivers darting to the top of the racetrack at the end of stage 1. Everybody right now chasing Justin Allgaier.
But as we approach the end of this stage, who's going to pop out of line first? It's Sheldon Creed. He'll go to the bottom. And with the block is Chandler Smith, his teammate. 2 Toyotas now on the bottom as Allgaier continues to lead.
Who wants to win the stage? We're coming down to it now. 1 to go in the stage. Justin Allgaier topside. That bottom lane gets disorganized yet again. Ryan Truex and his red and white Toyotas. The first car, but he's about 6th in line.
A couple of Joe Gibbs Racing teammates tried to rally the troops downstairs, but nobody seemed all that anxious to go with them. Now they're trying to get it going again. Dropping down out of line. Here comes Chandler Smith. He'll drop out of 4th and go for the lead.
Here he comes to the bottom of the racetrack out of 2, racing out of the 3rd position. Here's Chandler Smith. He's up alongside A.J. Allmendinger. Justin Allgaier sees it coming, moves downstairs, throws the block, and is able to keep the lead for now.
Smith still trying to get to the inside of A.J. Allmendinger. He does move Chandler Smith to 2nd. Sheldon Creed now side by side with A.J. Allmendinger for that spot, but Allgaier will lead the 3-car train at the front.
Green and white checkered flag waving here at the start-finish line. Allgaier on the bottom of the racetrack is going to get there first and score his 12th stage win of the season. Allgaier across the line. Now we see the caution flag fly. So green and white checkered flag. The yellow lights on around the racetrack. Top 10 at the line. Lap 30, Justin Allgaier. Chandler Smith, A.J. Allmendinger 3rd. Sheldon Creed 4th, and Parker Kligerman along across the line in 5th. Ryan Truex, Anthony Alfredo, Joe Graff Jr. 9th. Sammy Smith and Jeremy Clements. That's your top 10.
Season-leading 12th stage win of the year for Justin Allgaier. Working caution for the second time in the Wawa 250. Stage number 1 is over. Allgaier has won the stage. We expect pit lane to open up shortly. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Back here at Daytona, pit lane remains closed. We expect it to open up next time by. There are a couple of cars that are having some issues handling-wise and whatnot that have made their way down the pit lane. One of those cars is Jeb Burton, who's making his second stop here. Brad Gilly, it was a hairy event coming to the line for the green and white checkered flag for Jeb Burton.
Yeah, big time. In fact, Jeb Burton ended this stage crossing the start-finish line on pit road. He's about 2 stalls past the start-finish line. He had contact out on the racetrack. That cut down the right front. Miraculously, Jeb actually made it around through turns 3 and 4 and onto pit road with the clean race car. They came down initially. They changed the right side tires. Now they're coming down to check any damage on that right front fender with the tire going down. Outside of that, his car is okay. His ego a little bruised. Jeb's a little frustrated, but he's ready to reset for stage 2.
Last car in the lead lap, running in 33rd. All of the cars on the track are on the lead lap. Jeb right now running in position number 33. Postman Shane Van Gisbergen coming in with high hopes here at Daytona, but he spent a lot of time on pit road in front of you.
Yeah, Shane Van Gisbergen, yeah, that's easy for me to say. Take 2. Shane Van Gisbergen has brought that car down, and they've worked on it a couple times. Haven't made it down there and been able to figure it out. I know he was dealing with a loose condition. We get done with these pit stops, I'll go down and see what more details why Van Gisbergen has been on pit road that couple times.
Well, there's no practice, and these drivers get out, run their qualifying lap, and here we are. All of a sudden, you go racing under the lights at Daytona. Track conditions a little different. Shane Van Gisbergen, as Postman pointed out, a little bit of a loose race car. That's certainly something that'll get your attention here on the high banks.
Right now, they're pacing around the racetrack at 70 miles an hour, soon to be 55. Why? Because most of, if not everybody, will be headed to pit road. The green light is on. Pit road is open. Alan Cavana, here they come.
Justin Allgaier leads them down. Everyone trying not to slide through the box. Justin Allgaier in, set on the radio. Despite winning that stage, his car is terrible handling, too loose, and he can't take a push. They're going to put 4 tires on and make an air pressure adjustment on the number 7. Right behind him, 81 of Chandler Smith, same thing, too loose, Steve Post.
Cole Custer says his car is draggy and then a little tight, so they're going to make an air pressure adjustment, hope to speed that car up. First pit box is Sheldon Creed. They had to wait for the second 10. They lost some time. It'll be Sam Mayer wins the race off from pit road. Sammy Smith, Sheldon Creed. We've got Chandler Smith goes out. Ryan C goes out next, but Sammy Smith is stopped here at the exit of pit road. How about in front of you, Brett Gilly?
Big problems for Joe Gibbs' teammates on my end of pit road. It looked like Ryan Truex missed his pit box, and in doing so, coming back out onto the pit road, it blocked the entrance to his teammate Joe Graff Jr. getting into his pit box. Joe Graff Jr. went way past it, had to back up. They came in, they did a 4-tire change. Brandon Jones came in 4 tires. Jesse Love came in 4 tires. They got wedge adjustments on both sides of that car, and Jesse Love is just more worried about not making good moves on the racetrack. He asked his spotter, Brandon Benesh, look, if it looks like I'm about to do something that won't work, let me know. Jesse Love on pit road for a long time as they made big adjustments to tighten up that car.
Yeah, plus he was facing the wrong way on pit road. He got turned around coming to his pit box, slid the car 180 degrees around, but it stayed in the pit box, and the team went ahead and serviced that race car to get it backed out on the racetrack. So an eventful first round of pit stops here at Daytona. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Couple of more penalties to be handed out, along with all the other problems that were on the pit lane a moment ago. You've got a safety violation penalty for Patrick Emmerling. You also have a problem with Cole Custer, who had a problem exiting pit road, Jeff. He and his teammate, Riley Herbst, got together.
They got collected as they were leaving pit road. Well, they just waved off the restart. We're going to have an opportunity to get you down there. Cole Custer's car is on pit road. Riley's is left. Shane Van Gisbergen's is left. And the man that can tell us about all three is the postman.
Boy, there's a lot going on down on this end of pit road. Let's cover the Stewart-Haas racing duo here. And it was Riley Herbst and Cole Custer getting together. Cole Custer just went out. They've got a lot of damage on the front of that Ford Mustang, a lot of that Bear Bond tape on that car, sent him back on the racetrack. Here comes Riley Herbst, and now to the attention of the crew. See where they focus their energy. Looks like it's around to the right rear of that car and down on the right bottom side of the right bottom side of the race car. So that's what they're working on with Riley Herbst's car. Shane Van Gisbergen, he had ill handling, very, very loose, and a vibration in the rear end of the car, and they're trying to tighten that car up and trying to diagnose what the problem was on it. So lots and lots going on, and we expected SVG, Riley Herbst, and Cole Custer to be toward the front of them, but right now this Riley Herbst still sits here as they work on the right rear of that car.
Now, Herbst was going to have to start at the back of the field regardless. He was also penalized for not being single file entering the pit lane. So also another safety violation. This one going to Jordan Anderson. So pit stop round number one. We're about to run out of ink in my pen to write these down.
Yeah, for sure. And how about this one? Sam Mayer, who started dead last, will lead the field back to the green flag here in a half a lap. Sam Mayer, Sheldon Creed, Justin Allgaier, Chandler Smith, Parker Kligerman. That is your top five. The rest of the top 10, A.J. Allmendinger, 6th. Jeremy Clements, 7th. Josh Williams, who's had a very good night so far tonight, he's 8th. Jeffrey Earnhardt will restart 9th. Brandon Jones ready to go from 10th.
Sam Mayer and his team elected to take on Sunoco fuel only. They did not change Goodyear tires, and that's what's gotten him his track position. The field is coming to the Geico Restart Zone presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com today to get started.
24 laps will take us all the way to the green and white checkered flag. Stage 2 will conclude at lap number 60 as we get set to go. Here they come through the Geico Restart Zone. You got Sam Mayer on the inside, Sheldon Creed on the outside, Justin Allgaier, Chandler Smith, A.J. Allmendinger, all building speed and all headed to turn 1.
Nobody getting the advantage so far. It's 2 by 2 by 2 back through about the top 20 positions. Still halfway through the banking of turns 1 and 2. Nobody able to seal an advantage. Bottom lane begins to get its drafting help sorted out a little bit more quickly. That's going to push Sam Mayer to a small lead.
That bottom line is very tight in its formation. Justin Allgaier tucked up under the spoiler of Sam Mayer. But that will not stop the outside line from advancing. Sheldon Creed to the lead in Daytona.
Sheldon Creed got a huge push from Chandler Smith into the banking in turns 3 and 4. Here comes Sam Mayer on the bottom, rallying a charge with his teammate Justin Allgaier behind as they're neck and neck for the lead at Sheldon Creed.
Yeah, you've got Joe Gibbs Racing topside in the top 2 spots. Junior Motorsports occupy the first 2 positions down at the bottom of the racetrack. Mayer to the inside of Creed for the top spot in Daytona.
Chevrolet's lined up down low. The Toyotas take the top side of the racetrack. For the moment, it's Sam Mayer, but only by about a half a car length. Thinking 3 wide to the outside lane is Chandler Smith. He's looking for some help. He'll get it from Brandon Jones.
A.J. Allmendinger, that driver in the middle, that will now get help because drivers from the bottom will slide up into the middle. Now here's Sam Mayer across the nose of Allgaier. Sam Mayer to the lead, double wide behind him.
Double wide, including Sheldon Creed, who's to the outside at the quarter panel of Justin Allgaier for second. But that inside lane's got connected, and so it's going to be all Sam Mayer.
Sheldon Creed, the last 2 times at Daytona, he was runner-up, finished second in both of those. Right now, he is second, working to the outside of Justin Allgaier. And Chandler Smith, every once in a while, tries to form it up 3 wide.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, but he hasn't got enough people to think about it with him, at least so far. For the moment, he'll run side by side now with Parker Kligerman. That's the wheel-to-wheel battle for P3.
Sheldon Creed pulled down the banking to get right up alongside the right-hand side of Parker Kligerman's car. Then he'll take it all the way out to the safer barrier. Jump up in line in front of Chandler Smith as Creed leads the outside line.
Outside line starting to get reformed. Here comes Chandler Smith to the back end of Sheldon Creed, but Creed has fallen back to the battle for third as here's your top 2, the Junior Motorsports Duos leading the inside group.
They are right at the bottom of the racetrack. As a matter of fact, here's a look at how they're running, presented by Hands Free Skechers Slip-Ins. No bending down, no touching your shoes, just step in and go with Hands Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
On lap number 39, it is Sam Mayer leading over his teammate Justin Allgaier. They go 1-2. Parker Kligerman 3. A.J. Allmendinger running 4th. Sheldon Creed 5th. Chandler Smith 6th. Josh Williams 7th. Brandon Jones is 8th. Ryan Truex 9th. And Joe Graff Jr. is 10th.
Anthony Alfredo is 11th. Jeb Burton is 12th. And Jesse Love 13th. Jeremy Clements up to 14th. Blaine Perkins is 15th. Sammy Smith is 16th. Kyle Weatherman 17th. Jeffrey Earnhardt 18th. Riley Herbst 19th. And Jordan Anderson is 20th. Official lead change number 8 at the start-finish line. A.J. Allmendinger has gone back to the point. Sam Mayer now second, and Parker Kligerman is currently third. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Seven laps shy of the halfway point of the Wawa 250. Outside lane for the moment, it's the place to be, led by A.J. Allmendinger.
The Dinger back in command, and for the moment, nobody nipping at his heels. Everybody content to remain single file in that outside lane, back through about the 8th or 9th position. Parker Kligerman runs in the second spot as they make their way off turn 2.
They're side by side for 10th. Josh Williams, the first car out of line, bottom of the racetrack. Top side, Sammy Smith. Smith will get by. Also others as that inside line with Allgaier in there as well begins to plummet.
Yeah, the bottom grooves dwindled down to 2. It's just Josh Williams and Justin Allgaier. Williams trying to get up back in line, but the entire lead pack now is all right around the outside of Daytona.
Well, Sam Mayer led 6 laps just a few moments ago. When you experiment, Alex Hayden, it works. You get up to the front, you maintain it. But when you experiment about diving inside, diving outside like Sam was doing, you can free fall in a hurry.
Yeah, you can, but you have to figure this out because you want to get yourself prepared for the closing laps of this race and have a better understanding of how your race car is going to handle in and out of the draft. Josh Williams is another driver that's been experimenting, and right now he's on the downside of things as he's dropped all the way back to the 18th position. But you have to wonder with Sam Mayer just a bit as well, Jeff. Remember, he did not take on fresh Goodyear tires on the pit stop. The handling of that race car, even though it's a super speedway, handling does in fact come into play here at Daytona.
And the other thing that I guess we need to talk about, Dave Moody, is you don't learn if you don't experiment. Jump out of the draft, see what your car will do, try hooking up with 2 or 3 cars, see what it will do, and then get up and snuggle up against the outside safer barrier like he's doing right now.
Well, and that's the advantage of being a veteran driver, Jeff. You've got an idea coming in what generally will work and what generally will not. And Mike Bagley, you don't waste a lot of time on the things that you don't think will work.
Exactly. Well, he knows that doesn't work, and not to put himself in that position again. Riley Herbst is about to learn the hard way. He is the only car on the inside of the racetrack, and he's losing spots in wholesale fashion.
No one opting to be Riley Herbst's friend right now in turns 3 and 4, except for one car at the tail end of the field. But again, they're going to lose this whole lead pack off of 4.
If there's good news for Riley Herbst, it's the fact that there are some other really good race cars right beside him. And then Justin Allgaier is there. Shane Van Gisbergen is in that mix. Josh Williams also there as they run at the back of the lead draft.
Yeah, they've got a long way to go if they want to get back up into contention for the lead here at Daytona. For the most part, the entire lead pack, that's most of the field right now, has just snuggled up on the safer barrier.
Everybody in I formation off turn 2 and up the Daytona Super Stretch, led by A.J. Allmendinger. Got a Chevy teammate in his back pocket, Parker Kligerman. They are 1 and 2 at the moment.
And then it's 2 Toyotas with Ryan Truex and Sheldon Creed running in that 3rd and 4th position, followed by Chandler Smith as they continue to run their left sides just north of the hash mark on the outside groove.
It is all Chevys and Toyotas in the top 10. Highest running Ford right now, Blaine Perkins in 12th. Calm before the storm, Alex Hayden. We're getting down to it. There'll be 13 laps left to go in the stage. but for the moment, they're content to ride, but that will change big time, and it will change in a hurry.
Yeah, because stage points paid to the top 10 finishers coming up at the conclusion of stage 2, but if you mix it up and somebody has themselves a bit of a problem, you can find yourself in the garage and out of the race, nowhere near able to score points. The entire lead draft thunders off turn number 4 here at the World Center of Racing. All of them huddled up against the outside safer barrier. Calm before the storm. There's 11 laps to go before things pick up, and we get down to the end of stage number 2. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Back at Daytona, business beginning to pick up in the middle of that lead draft as they come up off of turn number 4. About the 6th place on now. Now make it the 3rd place car is going to dive out of line. They're mixing it up double wide, perhaps 3 wide, slight contact there. Chandler Smith gets into the left of Jeff Burton. Burton keeps these cars straight. They're still mixing it up from 3rd on back.
Jeff Burton was one of the first to pull down out of line, and now he's going to get left in the middle all by himself. A little bit of help on the way in the person of Chandler Smith, but they are badly outnumbered, both high and low.
Well, that didn't last long. Everybody in single file formation. They are at it for the lead. And the man that leads the inside line, Ryan Truex, trying to power that inside line up. They are up to the number 2 position alongside Kligerman.
Well, Parker Kligerman gave a huge shot in the shorts to A.J. Allmendinger, got him to the lead for the moment. But here comes the bottom group again. Justin Allgaier lining up behind Ryan Truex who takes the lead.
It is Truex, Allgaier down there. You've also got Jeb Burton, Riley Herbst. Now Truex is going to cross over. He's going to lead here at Daytona. Talking about Ryan Truex just trying to throw the block as he heads to 1.
Ryan Truex now to the head of the pack. We'll see how long it can last. He's got Allmendinger right in his hip pocket. AJ's got drafting help from Parker Kligerman as well. Here they come, single file back for the top 3.
Meanwhile, only 4 drivers occupy the inside line. You got Justin Allgaier there, Riley Herbst, Jeb Burton, and also the car of Chandler Smith. There is one straggler for the back. That's Jordan Anderson, about 4 car lengths behind them.
Bottom lane beginning to form up now behind Justin Allgaier. He's got Riley Herbst, Jeb Burton, and Chandler Smith. But here comes Allgaier now up to 3rd, looking for 2nd.
He is, and Justin Allgaier masterfully using the side draft. He pulls even for the number 3 spot. He's got momentum, tries to get a fender alongside the second place car of A.J. Allmendinger.
Justin Allgaier stepping lively to that inside lane as they make their way into the banking of turn number 1. Side by side with Kligerman. He'll take over the 3rd spot. Side by side now with Allmendinger. As he goes to the number 2 spot, they're still chasing Ryan Truex.
And Justin Allgaier's doing all this with just 3 cars behind him. Everybody else is in the outside line. However, Allgaier begins to lose momentum. Here comes Creed around the outside for 4th. Now Allgaier's wheel to wheel for 5th.
He's now side by side with Brandon Jones, but gets another push at the end of the super stretch by Riley Herbst. So Allgaier now starting to make his way back forward, but can only get back up to about 3rd.
5 cars working on the bottom of the racetrack. That's just not enough for Justin Allgaier. He's trying to slide back up in line, can't do it. He's got Sheldon Creed alongside, so that is the battle from 4th on back.
Justin Allgaier doing things with minimal or no drafting help that you're really not going to be able to do most of the time, but he's making the most of it. Here comes Riley Herbst up onto the back bumper. Now Allgaier gets some help from behind.
Allgaier gets enough help to get him up into a side-by-side battle for 3rd. He's trying hard to get up there in a wheel-to-wheel battle for 2nd. He can't do it. He needs more help. It's just not there off the end of the backstretch.
Allgaier sitting on the left tip of Parker Kligerman as they dive into the 31-degree banking in 3 and 4. Now Allgaier all the way, painting that yellow line on the inside. He's going to pull up even with Ryan Truex for the lead.
He has got a big shot of momentum on the bottom of the racetrack, does Justin Allgaier. However, Ryan Truex will match that. Truex continues to show the way. We're getting down to it here in stage number 2. 5 laps to go.
We'll see if Truex elects to try and throw the block on Allgaier. He will not. Now he does. Wow, right across the nose of the little gator. A very close call on the block by Truex. He gets away with it. He'll lead to the back straightaway.
Now there are 5 cars on the bottom. Change that to 4 as Truex will abandon the inside line. He'll get upstairs in front of A.J. Allmendinger, and here comes Allgaier blasting by Ryan Truex for the lead.
A power move by Little Gator to the inside into the race lead here at Daytona. Riley Herbst in tow on the inside lane, as Jeff Burton is as well. Top lane with Ryan Truex trying to get lead forward.
Justin Allgaier led 10 laps earlier tonight. He's about to lead his 11th, and he'll lead lap number 56. Allgaier out front, Truex to the outside. This is a good battle for 2nd with Riley Herbst.
High lane not done yet. Ryan Truex regathers the troops, and he comes storming back to the outside into turn number 1. Truex halfway up. Allgaier slides up across the nose. He throws the block. That leaves the bottom for Riley Herbst.
Allgaier leads the outside line. Riley Herbst now 6 other cars behind him. Allgaier in sole possession of the lead. Truex with 2nd. Here comes the battle for 3rd. Herbst now will dive to the inside.
Herbst gets a huge push from Jeff Burton into turn number 3, and he's going to go right to the back bumper of Justin Allgaier. That leaves Ryan Truex backing up to A.J. Allmendinger in fourth.
Allgaier doing a great job of blocking all lanes at the moment. Right now, right in the middle of the racetrack. Stacked up double wide, the entire lead draft right off the back bumper of the yellow and blue Hellman Chevrolet.
Spectacular battles at the front of the pack here at the World Center of Racing. They're all chasing for the moment Justin Allgaier. Riley Herbst now to the bottom on Truex. They're thinking 3 wide back around Parker Kligerman in the 10th spot.
Now they duck into double wide formation. Allgaier leading a string of 8 cars. Wow, there's double that up top. Allgaier starts on the bottom. Now he'll dart up in line in front of Truex. Back to the bottom in front of Herbst in 3.
He takes the line away from Riley Herbst, trying to get the bottom lane to start propelling forward. Ryan Truex still stuck on the outside. Is going to fall back into the clutches of Jeff Burton and move back to 4th as Allgaier leads off 4.
2 to go in stage number 2. Racing back through the tri-oval. Allgaier right smack dab in the middle. Riley Herbst took a look to the outside. Allgaier throws the block there and leads the field back to 1.
Just about time to push all in here as they storm into the banking of turn number 1. Allgaier selects the bottom lane, at least for the moment. Riley Herbst continues to run up high. That's the side-by-side battle for 2nd as Jeff Burton gets into the fray.
Justin Allgaier in firm command of the lead. Right now he occupies the outside line. Riley Herbst right behind him. Herbst started to run, backs away. Truex will start a run behind Herbst. They're wheel to wheel for 2nd.
Truex pulls to the the inside line, wheel to wheel for second. Herbst on the outside, Truex on the inside. Stage points up for grabs off of 4. It's still Allgaier by 2 car lengths.
Justin Allgaier, oh, trouble off turn number 4. One car gets turned, slides down to the inside. It's Sam Mayer. Caution flag will fly. We complete lap number 59. 1 to go before the end of the stage. Sam Mayer got kicked just enough sideways, lost control of his Chevrolet, and the Carolina Carports entry gets the car righted, and he'll be able to continue on.
And it was Anthony Alfredo, I believe, that slid up the racetrack, slapped the wall coming off turn number 4, and then Sam Mayer broke loose. So did they make contact? Hard to say. It doesn't look like it. It looked like Sam Mayer just broke loose off of 4 after Alfredo slid up the racetrack and caught the wall. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Jesse Love got into the Anthony Alfredo car, sent him up, and when Jesse Love checked up, Sam Mayer stood on the brakes, and I think that's what caused the back end of his car to turn sideways. Regardless, everybody essentially dodges that one, especially Sam Mayer and Anthony Alfredo. They got to maintain pace car speed, and they'll get back around here and complete lap number 60 to conclude the stage.
So we're going to see the green and white checkered flag waving here at the start-finish line. Yellow lights on all the way around this 2.5 mile super speedway. He won stage 1, and Justin Allgaier is going to win stage 2 under the caution flag and across the line. Justin Allgaier picking up the stage 2 win over Riley Herbst. Ryan Truex was 3rd, AJ Allmendinger 4th, Jeff Burton was 5th, Parker Kligerman was 6th. 7th across the line, Sheldon Creed. Chandler Smith was 8th, Brandon Jones was 9th, Josh Williams 10th. It was Justin Allgaier picking up the green and white checkered flag.
And that look at the stage and who scored points was presented by the Powerball. Powerball, the official lottery game of NASCAR, wants to make you a millionaire in victory lane. Head to Powerball.com to find out how you can enter the NASCAR Powerball playoff. Field works up off of turn number 4 behind the pace car, and pit lane will remain closed at least for one more lap. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Motor Racing Network's coverage from Daytona International Speedway is brought to you by hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Just step in and go.
Working caution flag number 3 of the Wawa 250 here at the World Center of Racing in Daytona Beach, Florida. Caution flag number 1 came out in turn 3 of the opening lap after Jeremy Clements got turned around going into the corner, caused a multi-car crash, took out a handful of drivers. Caution number 2 on lap 30, the conclusion of stage number 1. Here in caution flag number 3, Sam Mayer spun coming off turn number 4. Justin Allgaier has swept both stages here tonight.
That voice belongs to Alex Hayden. My name is Jeff Striegel. In the turns tonight, we've got Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Chris Wilner up and down pit road, and they're about to get busy. Steve Post, Brad Gilly, and Alan Cavana. And Alan, here they come.
Justin Allgaier leads him down for the second time. He came on the radio and said that run was awesome as he won yet another stage. They're going to go with 4 tires. They admit they're going to give up a lot of track position, but they're getting him a fast car. At the end of this race, they think they can win this, Steve Post.
Fuel is the key here. They're waiting on the fuel. A couple of 2-tires stop, making sure you get all the fuel in the car and get back out on pit road. It's a race with fuel strategy. A.J. Allmendinger, they wanted to tighten that race car up. The race off pit road is won by, I believe, Sheldon Creed. Ryan Truex and him were side by side. There goes Riley Herbst and Brandon Jones and Parker Kligerman going out onto the racetrack. Actually, it looks like Ryan Truex got out first just by a few inches of Sheldon Creed. Into the middle section of pit road, Brad Gilly.
Two tires go on the jack. That was the call for Ryan Truex. That's why they had such a fast pit stop. Jesse Love, also 2 tires for him. Jeb Burton, they opted to make a 4-tire change for him before sending him back out. Both Ryan Truex and Jeb Burton in that last stage went from the back all the way to the front. They have fast race cars here tonight.
All those drivers that we just heard described off the pit lane first took right side tires. Justin Allgaier came in as the race leader. He exits pit lane in 10th, but they stayed on pit lane just a fraction of a second longer. They took on 4 fresh Goodyear Eagles. We'll reset the running order for you and get the green flag back in the air for the stretch run. 37 laps to go in the Wawa 250 from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Pace car works through turns 3 and 4. Pace car driver Jason Brownlow still has the Whelen Engineering lights illuminated. We hope to get those turned off when they get to the start-finish line to give us the one to go. While they do that, here's a look at how they're running. Presented by Hands Free Skechers Slip-Ins. No bending down, no touching your shoes. Just step in and go with Hands Free Skechers Slip-Ins.
On lap number 64, Alex Hayden, Ryan Truex. Out front, over Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, Leland Honeyman, and Brennan Poole. That's your top 5. Brandon Jones, Kyle Sieg, Parker Kligerman, Jesse Love, and Chandler Smith. That is your top 10.
11th is C.J. McLaughlin. Things shuffle up just a bit as Sam Mayer comes back to the pit lane. So Sam,
you want me to start over and try that again?
Let's do that over.
All right, let's do this. Ryan Truex continues to lead over Sheldon Creed, Riley Herbst, Brandon Jones 4th, and Parker Kligerman 5th. And like Alex pointed out, this shuffled up with drivers coming to pit road just before we go back under the green flag. Jesse Love, Chandler Smith, Sammy Smith, Joe Graff Jr., and Sam Mayer. That's your top 10.
As that will change again because Sam Mayer's on the pit lane. Justin Allgaier, then Jeffrey Earnhardt, A.J. Allmendinger, Jeb Burton, Josh Williams, Jordan Anderson, Jeremy Clements, Blaine Perkins, Kyle Weatherman, Shane Van Gisbergen make up the top 20, but Van Gisbergen, he too's on the pit lane.
Patrick Emmerling will go next in front of Parker Retzloff. This is outside the top 20 now. Josh Bilicki, Joey Gase, Ryan Sieg, Brennan Poole, Kyle Sieg right now 25th, Leland Honeyman, Matt DiBenedetto, Cesar Baccarella, Anthony Alfredo, C.J. McLaughlin, Cole Custer, and Austin Hill. Those are the cars on the racetrack in the running order that they're in.
Yeah, Tim Viens, Gus Dean, Ryan Ellis, Akinori Ogata scored out of the race. Alan Cavano, what kind of things are you following along here in the final laps?
Just a variety of strategies on that last pit stop. Remember, Justin Allgaier won the first 2 stages, has a great car, so they willingly took 4 tires, knowing they would give up some track position, but knowing they have a great car and the freshest rubber. You go up and down pit road, though. Chandler Smith on the first stop took 2 right side tires. On this stop, it was 2 left side tires. You go down a little further, Parker Kligerman, 4 on the first stop, 2 this time. And then I asked Larry McReynolds, Jordan Anderson's crew chief, what they did this time. Fuel only on that number 32 car for Jordan Anderson. So a variety of strategies down here on pit road tonight.
Well, Alan, let's find out who does indeed have the best car. The run to the checkered flag, 35 to go. Geico restart coming up, presented by Geico. Is your insurance playbook lacking? Switch to Geico and get all your insurance coverage from one place. Go to geico.com to get started tonight.
Ryan Truex on the inside lane. Riley Herbst goes topside.
Riley Herbst has the advantage, but only by a bumper and maybe only temporarily, as Truex gets a big-time shove from Chandler Smith. He'll go into the clean air of the lead. Smith now wants a piece of second place.
Inside line advances off turn 2, and that again will put Truex out in front all by himself. Running right now in the second position is Sheldon Creed. Kligerman through on the lane down low in third. They're side by side for fourth.
And side by side for position number 4 is Riley Herbst on the outside. Here comes Joe Graff Jr. The Toyota going to lead the bottom lane. That's all formed off of 4.
Boy, Brandon Jones, Jesse Love running just outside of the top 5, thinking about making it 3 wide. They'll do it right now. A.J. Allmendinger to the middle. Brandon Jones to the outside. They're 3 wide, back around 10th.
Everybody playing their cards early in this stage, trying to get themselves positioned. The 3 wide battle is back around 6th and 7th position. Up the middle, A.J. Allmendinger. He's got some room. He gives a big shove to Chandler Smith.
Yeah, but Creed throws the block on him coming out of 2, and that will stop the inside line from moving forward. Truex dancing back and forth with the lead. Here's Chandler Smith up the outside.
Yeah, Chandler Smith with from inside to the outside and now to the race lead around Ryan Truex. He's got help from A.J. Allmendinger. It's Chandler Smith at the front of the field.
A bold move by A.J. Allmendinger going from the middle to the outside lane in the nick of time to propel Chandler Smith back to the point here at Daytona. However, at the bottom of the racetrack, Ryan Truex gets a big shove as he heads back to 1.
Truex trying to regain the lead. He will by just a bumper, but here comes Chandler Smith back at him in the outside lane. A.J. Allmendinger creeping up on Smith's back bumper. Truex has got some drafting help down low. That's Jeb Burton and more.
Jeb Burton now making his way to the front as they race out of 2 and up the Daytona Super Stretch. Out in front by himself is Truex. Everybody double wide, 3 wide. Oh, they almost won him up off the end of the back straightaway.
Things are getting interesting. The intensity's beginning to rise as the battle for second heats up. Jeb Burton on the bottom, Chandler Smith up top. Here goes Ryan Truex across the top lane.
Nobody content to ride right now. Ryan Sieg is going to put Jeb Burton smack dab in the middle. Goodbye, Jeb Burton. Ryan Sieg now will battle for second with Chandler Smith.
Jebby gets the heave-ho into that middle lane. He plummets backwards now. He is game, but he's back outside the top 10. Front of the pack, it continues to be Ryan Truex in the outside lane, shadowed by Chandler Smith.
Downstairs, you've got Ryan Sieg. Cole Custer now back into the mix. He is the second car in line at the bottom of the racetrack, and now the draft begins to form up. Now it goes 3 wide. Anthony Alfredo will hang Cole Custer out to dry, and Brandon Jones gets turned. He'll spin to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll slide all the way down to the end of the back straightaway to the entrance of turn 3, taking advantage of this newly laid asphalt that was put down in February. Car stays on all 4 wheels. No contact with anybody else. Brandon Jones, wild spin on the backstretch.
And boy, did he get away with one there right in the middle of the pack. And his playoff hopes continue to stay alive in a virtual must-win situation. They were playing bumper cars. Jesse Love was back there in that mix as well. But Brandon Jones got away with one here, but we are under caution for the 4th time.
And right now, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Welcome back to the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola, the NASCAR Xfinity Series in action under the lights at Daytona International Speedway. We are working right now under caution. Lap number 70 complete. Next time by, that will give us 30 to go. Ryan Truex, Chandler Smith, AJ Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman, and Ryan Sieg currently your top 5. Again, working under the caution flag, lap number 70. Working under our 4th caution flag of the night, 70 down, 30 to go, out front, and again under caution, it is Ryan Truex from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Pit road will be open this time as the field is working up in the banking of turn number 4. And again, under the caution flag, Jeff Striegel alongside is Alex Hayden. We're in the broadcast booth. Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, Chris Wilner, they are in the turns tonight, and it's a pretty good night out the window, that's for sure. And on pit road, Steve Post, Brad Gilley, and Alan Cavana. Pit road is open. Will they come? Well, at least a couple of them will, that's for sure. Cole Custer is on pit road. Chandler Smith, or make that Sheldon Creed, is on pit road. Anybody in front of you, Alan?
No, Cesar Baccarella's on. He had a top 5. Don't forget, remember earlier this year at one of these drafting tracks, but not a lot of takers here on my end of pit road, guys.
Steve Post, you got some in front of you, however.
Yeah, Sheldon Creed is in. He had gotten shuffled back, and I'm not sure who he was directing his ire at, but he was unhappy with somebody. And so they were back toward the tail of the field, and they decided, Sam McCauley and him talked about it and said, do you feel like you can go forward with tires? Sheldon said, let's put them in. The car had gotten a little bit loose also. So minor adjustment on it. 4 tires, brand new tires. Parker Retzlaff was in getting 4 tires as well. They had one set of good tires here, so I think that's the call on some of these teams in the back. Shane Van Gisbergen as well doing the same thing. Brad Gilly, how about in front of you? Any stops?
Yeah, Brandon Jones actually came in for a second time. He, of course, the reason for this caution. When he came in initially, all 4 tires were flat. It was running on the inner liner. They changed those. Everything was okay with his race car, but when they brought him back in, he just had one small dent right behind the driver's side door, right in front of the left rear. They pulled that out. They sent him back out. The other car to come in on my end of pit road, Jeremy Clements, came in for 4 tire service on his number 51.
Double header for you coming your way tomorrow, and thank you guys on pit road. Alan Cavana, Brad Gilly, Steve Post. We got a double header coming your way tomorrow, Sunday, right here. And then we'll go north. Right here is Daytona International Speedway. We have the Coke Zero Sugar 400. Our airtime tomorrow is coming up at 6:30 p.m. And so that's going to be a good one. All right, so I'm confused. I feel like today is Saturday. It's not. It's not. Friday.
All day.
So why don't we race tomorrow on Saturday, and that will be the Coke Zero Sugar 400 Daytona. Coming your way tomorrow at 6:30. Mike Bagley and the team will have NASCAR Live race day for you. Take you all the way up to the green flag. It's going to be a good one. That is for sure.
And then it will be a doubleheader Sunday with the ARCA Menard Series running the Sprecher 150 at the Milwaukee Mile in West Allis, Wisconsin. And that's going to be a good one in the Sprecher 150. MRN airtime for that ARCA Menard Series race, 1 o'clock Eastern time. It will be followed up at the Milwaukee Mile for the Liuna 175 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. They kick off their playoffs at Milwaukee Sunday. MRN live flag-to-flag coverage of the Liuna 175 at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time.
Before we go back under the green flag, let's tell everybody where your favorite driver is running. Brought to you by Blue Green Vacations. Blue Green Vacations, the official vacation ownership provider of NASCAR, invites you to believe in the power of vacation. With Blue Green, you can create a lifetime of memories at our collection of unique, locally inspired resorts and enjoy exclusive access to VIP NASCAR experiences. Start your vacation journey today at BlueGreenVacations.com.
Ryan Truex scored the race leader, Chandler Smith second, A.J. Allmendinger third, Parker Kligerman is fourth, and Joe Graff Jr. fifth. Ryan Sieg goes sixth, Anthony Alfredo seventh, Riley Herbst eighth, Kyle Weatherman ninth, and Jeffrey Earnhardt is 10th.
Sammy Smith 11th, Jeb Burton 12th, Justin Allgaier ready to go from 13th, Jesse Love 14th, 15th on the restart, Blaine Perkins, Josh Williams 16th, C.J. McLaughlin 17th, Josh Balicki 18th, 19th to Sam Mayer, and Matt DiBenedetto ready to go from 20th.
Kyle Sieg 21st, Leland Honeyman 22nd, Parker Retzlaff 23rd, Cesar Baccarella will be 24th, Sheldon Creed 25th, Brennan Poole 26th, Patrick Emmerling 27th, 28th is Shane Van Gisbergen, 29th and 30th, Jordan Anderson and Jeremy Clements.
And the rest of the running order in 31st, Brandon Jones, Joey Gase 32nd, Cole Custer way back in 33rd in front of Austin Hill, who's 34th. Out of the race, Tim Viennes, Gustine, Ryan Ellis, Akinori Ogata, they're out of the race. We're ready to go. Back into the green flag, lap number 73.
Here they come as the green flag goes in the air off the right hand of Caden Kretzer. Manning the flags here tonight, the Wawa 250. Inside lane propels forward. Ryan Truex's red and white Toyota back to the point.
Truex gets a big shove, and he is out into the clean air, at least momentarily, but here comes that outside lane. A.J. Allmendinger's got a trunk full of Parker Kligerman. The Dinger to the outside. He's going to challenge for the number 1 spot. They're wheel to wheel off turn 2.
Side by side to the Daytona Super Stretch. They stay that way as A.J. Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman, a potent combo up in the outside. Here's Ryan Truex, though, downstairs with his teammate Chandler Smith. Outside line will prevail.
It's the bright orange Chevrolets led by A.J. Allmendinger in that outside groove that's going to have the momentum off of turns 3 and 4 to the trioval. A.J. Allmendinger leading.
Parker Kligerman right behind AJ, Ryan Sieg right behind Parker. Toyota's on the bottom of the racetrack. That's Ryan Truex, and right behind Truex is Chandler Smith.
Here they come into turn number 1 with Allmendinger showing the way. Less than a car length back to Parker Kligerman. They will both drop down the racetrack across the nose of Truex. Here they come off turn number 2. The leader, A.J. Allmendinger on the bottom.
And now the leader on the outside line, Ryan Sieg. He is the Pied Piper in the outside line, trying to drag that outside lane up into a side-by-side battle for second. He'll do it, and he'll have eyes on the lead.
He's got Anthony Alfredo second in line on that outside groove to give him a shove. Ryan Sieg, who continues to try to march his way forward, but the bottom line now has grouped up. It's still A.J. Allmendinger putting the block on Parker Kligerman.
Boy, they slide from the bottom to the top, back to the bottom. Harry racing here with 25 laps to go. Parker Kligerman gets a move put on him. Inside lane opens up, and here comes Truex.
Truex down to the bottom of the racetrack. It's going to be side by side now for position number 2. Truex needs some drafting help. He'll get it onto the back bumper from Joe Graff Jr. Right behind Graff comes Riley Herbst on the inside.
Joe Graff Jr. looking 3 wide for a moment. He'll stand pat on the inside while Truex will slide up alongside Kligerman, try to get a side draft. He won't be able to do it. He'll lose 1 spot. He loses 2 in 3.
But he's got help by Joe Graff Jr., who gives him a big old shove into turn number 3. He'll pull even with second place running Parker Kligerman, who continues to roll that outside groove behind A.J. Allmendinger.
Last lap, 186.5 miles an hour, and they're running inches apart. Ryan Truex on the inside, A.J. Allmendinger on the outside, a virtual dead heat at the start-finish line.
Allmendinger's got
trouble going off into turn number 1. Multiple cars get into the wall. Jesse Love is one of them. Another driver slides up. That's Parker Retzlaff. He'll pound the safer barrier. More cars crash in front of Dave Moody.
Cole Custer has got a piece of it. He about tore the outside safer barrier down. A number of other cars now sliding down onto the apron between turns 1 and 2. 7, maybe 8 cars in all torn up, including Cole Custer, whose night just went from bad to worse. Also limping down on the apron now, Sammy Smith. His car badly damaged on the front and right-hand sides.
So that will put us under the caution flag yet again. It comes out with 24 laps remaining. It broke out at the end of the front straightaway. Involved Parker Retzlaff, Jesse Love involved, Brandon Jones, Cole Custer, Sammy Smith, Cesar Baccarella, and more. And we saw cars bouncing off one another as they went off into turn number 1. Certainly Jeb Burton involved. Anybody else involved that you were trying to make a note of?
It looked like Jeb Burton may have gotten into the back of Sammy Smith. Chandler Smith came racing up the middle as well. May have caught Sammy Smith by surprise. One of those Daytona racing incidents, problems that we have here as you transition off the banking here at the front side is 18 degrees into the flat short straightaway running off into turn number 1, and a multi-car crash and taking out some big names. Involved in the multi-car crash on the short straightaway headed to turn number 1. We are under the caution flag now for the 5th time in the race. 23 laps to go. A.J. Allmendinger continues to be the race leader. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. The list of drivers involved in the crash is getting longer. We'll run down that list in a moment. First of all, Steve Post, there's some of those beat-up race cars on the pit lane.
Woo, man, we have got some wadded-up race cars down here. Sammy Smith, he's in the second pit box here at the exit of pit road. All kinds of damage on the right front of that car, down along the right side, and really similar degrees of damage on Cole Custer. He's 2 pit boxes behind him. His yellow and gray Ford Mustang is here. They are working on 3 corners of that car. The left front's in good shape. Right front is totally trashed. A lot of damage on the right rear. Left rear doesn't look bad, but they've got a problem with the fuel filler, and they can't get the fuel into the car. I think they should be good on it, but right now one crew member is still working on trying to get that cleared up. So a lot of damage down here on a couple of cars that we expected to be at the front of the field at the end of this race.
All right, let's give you an idea of who all was involved. Kyle Sieg involved. Cesar Baccarella involved. Sammy Smith involved in a big way. Cole Custer yet again. Matt DiBenedetto involved. Josh Williams, Brandon Jones, yes, the list goes on. Jesse Love, Jeb Burton, and Parker Retzloff. Did I get them all, Alex?
Missed Sam Mayer, got a piece of that as well. So Sam Mayer got some of that, as well as you mentioned Jesse Love. He's on the pit lane. Brad Gilley, and they're still working on that race car.
Yeah, big damage for that car. Looks like the right rear toe got knocked in. He's had his steering wheels at about 9 o'clock right now. One of the bigger problems was on the left front fender. The crush panel was rubbing on the tire. He initially came down. Danny Stockman had them just put 4 tires on it, send them back out so he could stay on the lead lap. He had a major tire rub, but the handling on that car is bad. Coming back in, Jeb Burton, he has got some front end damage, mostly on the right front, some rear end damage as well. Brandon Jones, his rear bumper completely crushed in, so much so that the right rear quarter panel is sticking out. Kind of a bit of a parachute right there. That's what they're going to work on this particular stop.
True or false, Alex Hayden? I believe we've reached that special time of night when you get to Daytona and all of a sudden you just start amping up. The intensity level just continues to build.
Yeah, it does, and that's just part of racing here. It doesn't matter what race it is, when you're running it, everybody wants to win at Daytona. And in order to do it, you got to put yourself in position. Sometimes you have to get a little aggressive. Sometimes other people are going to get aggressive on you, but that is simply part of racing here at Daytona.
You know, I just applaud Anthony Alfredo. He's had a great night. He's run inside the top 10 most of it. And right now, Anthony Alfredo, who, if you remember, had the glancing blow off of turn number 4 earlier in the race, he is running in position number 5. Why don't we give you a look at how everybody's running? We're going to be 80 down, 20 to go. So here's a look at the leaderboard presented by Hands Free, Skechers slip-ins, no bending down, no touching your shoes, just step in and go with Hands Free Skechers slip-ins.
A.J. Allmendinger is the race leader. Ryan Truex is second. Parker Kligerman goes third, and Ryan Sieg is fourth. Riley Herbst is fifth. Joe Graff Jr. goes sixth. Anthony Alfredo seventh. Justin Allgaier is 8th, Chandler Smith 9th, and Kyle Weatherman is 10th.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, 11th. Sheldon Creed, 12th. Josh Williams, 13th. Blaine Perkins, 14th. Sam Mayer, 15th. 16th, Josh Bilicki. 17th, Jordan Anderson. Patrick Emmerling, 18th. Leland Honeyman, 19th. And 20th is Brennan Poole.
21st is Jeremy Clements. 22nd is Joey Gase. 23rd, Kyle Sieg. 24th is Shane Van Gisbergen. 25th is Cesar Baccarella. Jeff Burton is 26th. CJ McLaughlin, 27th. Brandon Jones being scored 28th, with Jesse Love 29th and Sammy Smith 30th.
Everybody else, damaged race cars, and it's also going to shuffle up, Postman, because we do have a number of cars that are making their way onto pit road.
Yeah, we had the damaged cars down here. Sam Mayer got a little bit of damage in that one. They're going to took 4 tires and Sunoco Racing fuel, and Shane Van Gisbergen felt pretty good about his race car, but they're going to put 4 tires on there. They feel like they might have driven through some debris out there in that mess down in turn number 1. So yeah, this one's been kind of crazy down here. A lot of wounded race cars here as we get in the latter stages.
So those pit stops and the continue work on some of these race cars to get them going, that's just part of it here. You got to get every point you can possibly get as Brandon Jones will make his way back to the pit lane for more service down there. You go back to Austin Hill, swept up in a crash in turn 3 of the opening lap, made minimum speed, went to pit lane, and then subsequently to the garage area. Brad Gilley reported on that earlier. 23 laps down is Austin Hill. We only have 20 laps to go in the race, so you have to say, okay, why is he continuing on in the race? Well, we could have overtime. We could have multiple overtimes, and then he could, in theory, pass some of these drivers who are out of the race based off of this wreck here. So it's all about gaining as many points as you possibly can.
And it's also about staying on the racetrack and not putting it on the transporter and taking it out of here as long as it runs and rolls. And for Austin Hill, it is doing that and just about only that. It's just been a long night for the driver that has won here at Daytona on 3 separate occasions. But as we talked about earlier, all of those occasions happened in the month of February. August has not been his time in Daytona.
He's never been better than 14th in the summer race here at Daytona, and it's not looking like he's going to eclipse that mark here in this one. As we get the 1 to go here at the start-finish line, A.J. Allmendinger will choose the outside lane. Ryan Truex will choose outside as well. 3rd place and 4th place. That's Parker Kligerman and Ryan Sieg, respectively. They both will go to the bottom side of the racetrack.
Dave Moody has been watching it all from outside turn number 2. We get down to crunch time, and Dave, as you well know, the intensity level just continues to rise.
Yeah, it goes from 10 out of 10 on the scale up to about an 11 or 12. I thought the choose was very interesting, Jeff. Not at all surprised that A.J. Allmendinger went to the top of the racetrack. It sets up a really good face-off on this ensuing restart. A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman have been great drafting partners. They have pushed each other to the front of the pack and kept each other there for much of the night. Now they're going to go head-to-head for the lead. Your best friends can become your worst enemies here at Daytona in no time.
And Mike Bagley on the Daytona Superstretch. A lot of those moves can go good or bad on that piece of real estate.
You're exactly right, Alex. And we saw one of them go bad earlier tonight. Brandon Jones spinning to the bottom of the racetrack. Over here, though, we've been pretty much clean and green all night. You mentioned it earlier. You cannot shove someone here. You can go and deliver a little rat-a-tat-tat to the back bumper, but the bumpers cannot connect. As we get to the end of this race, these drivers will have to be mindful of that. They're going to want to shove the car in front of them, but by rule, they are not permitted, and that's something that will come into play towards the end of this race.
Chris Wilner, it's all about track position, where you are, the final 1,500 feet, making their way at your feet back to the start-finish line will determine who goes to victory lane here tonight.
That's right, Jeff, and whoever has the lead is going to really be driving out of the rearview mirror, making their car 2 lanes, even 3 lanes wide, trying to protect that track position that they do gain. But it's ultra critical now to figure out who you work best with. You guys mentioned Parker Kligerman and A.J. Allmendinger. Allmendinger. Ryan Truex has got some Toyotas as well, and Riley Herbst there in the looming. So a lot of heavy hitters here at the front of the field as we get set to go back to green.
If you're a Cole Custer fan, well, the night just went bad in a hurry. The damaged vehicle policy clock has expired on Cole Custer. He is officially out of the race. Custer will finish in the 31st position.
18 to go under the lights. Daytona for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and here we go again. Green lights back on. AJ on the outside of the racetrack. Right behind him, Ryan Truex down to the inside. Parker Kligerman leads that inside lane with Ryan Sieg right behind.
A.J. Allmendinger to the lead. By the time they hit the banking in turn number 1, he crosses over to the bottom of the racetrack, and looky there, he's got his drafting partner right in his hip pocket again. It's Allmendinger and Kligerman, 1 and 2 off turn 2.
They were at the bottom of the racetrack out of 2. They'll swing wide across the nose of Ryan Truex. The front 3 now are the cars of A.J. Allmendinger, Kligerman, and Truex. Here comes the inside lane, led by Ryan Sieg. They're up to 3rd.
And that means the top 2 of A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman drop to the bottom to join Ryan Sieg on the bottom, but now they go to the top to take the line away from Ryan Truex off the turn 4.
Truex will have to fall up in line as well. He's got no help at the bottom. At least he didn't feel like the strength was there, but Ryan Sieg is going to pull even from the bottom lane. Sieg all the way down the double yellow line. They're going to go 3 wide to turn 1.
Truex will change lanes. He jumps to the bottom of the racetrack now with Ryan Sieg in his back pocket. He goes to the inside on A.J. Allmendinger. He's got the lead by half a car length, but back comes the Dinger up high.
A.J. Allmendinger comes charging back to the outside of the racetrack, side by side for the lead, looking 3 wide further back. It's Truex to the bottom. It's A.J. Allmendinger up top. It's the Dinger by a fender in 3.
Dinger has the momentum because Ryan Truex is out on an island. He's about 2 car lengths ahead of Ryan Sieg, so now the top begins to form behind A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman.
Here comes the Thunder back off of turn number 4, back to the line, led by A.J. Allmendinger. Ryan Truex working down to his inside. Alex Hayden as they come across the line. It's Kligerman running 3rd, Ryan Sieg, Riley Herbst. How about Anthony Alfredo and the run that he's had here tonight?
It's not really a surprise. Anthony Alfredo's put together outstanding runs. He's got 2 top 10 finishes here at Daytona with a best of 7. Not a surprise to see Anthony Alfredo up there. Heck, it is Daytona. You keep your car running towards the end of this race, and you too can have a shot at finishing in the top 10.
And now he busts on a line. He's going to try to go 3 wide and right up the gut. Ryan Truex will slide across his nose, so Truex now will bring Anthony Alfredo all the way to 2nd as they come off turn number 4. Truex on the bottom, Anthony Alfredo on the bottom, and working to the outside is A.J. Allmendinger.
15 laps to go in the Wawa 250 this time by. Here they go back to turn number 1. Anthony Alfredo doesn't want 2nd. Dave, he wants the lead.
The pride of the Sauce Mafia getting it done tonight at Daytona. He is on the hunt. It'll have to settle for the 2nd spot, maybe 3rd for the moment. Truex in front of him. Back comes A.J. Allmendinger in the outside lane.
One driver that got punted out of the draft last time through, Ryan Sieg. He has fallen outside of the top 10. He's trying to regroup. Meanwhile, up front, still a very intense battle for the lead, and Dinger's got control.
But look at the bottom lane. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger. One of the top race cars all night long has made it to the 3rd car on the inside lane behind Anthony Alfredo. They're side by side off of 4.
Boy, both lanes right now stacked with power, led by on the inside Truex, led by on the outside A.J. Allmendinger, right behind them Parker Kligerman and Anthony Alfredo.
Here they come, 2 by 2 by 2, and Jeff is right, all the way back through about the top 15 or 18 positions. It's inches apart for the lead. Truex on the bottom of the racetrack. A.J. Allmendinger topside, they're dead even.
Ryan Truex now will surge forward, coming out of 2 and up the Daytona super stretch. But here comes A.J. Allmendinger back to the outside. Everybody locked in double wide formation. Now Anthony Alfredo will give Truex a much-needed shove to the lead.
And he backs off on the entrance to turn number 3, launching Truex to the top spot here at Daytona. They're on the bottom side of the racetrack. A.J. Allmendinger now back to 3rd, trying to get back to Parker Kligerman.
As they come back to the line with 13 to go, let's check in at the Advent Health Care Center with Alan Cavana.
And Parker Retzloff is checked in from the Infield Care Center. What happened out there from your perspective in terms of running up on that wreck?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just looked like, I don't know if Jeb was pushing Sammy and he just pushed him too hard and he got turned in the fence, but suddenly Jeb or somebody was coming down. I got right front damage and I was hooked and I was going up the racetrack, and then I hit the back of the car into the wall, and I came back down, like, not able to control anything, and I hit Cole, and it's just, I don't know, it's just been such a disappointing year for everyone at the Funkaway Chevy, and I don't know, we're going to keep fighting, but it's definitely been a disappointing year, and we deserve better.
These are opportunity races for cars like Retzlaff. You could hear the disappointment in his voice.
Yeah, opportunity races like Anthony Alfredo trying to win for the first time in his career. He's going to get shuffled on the line back to 5th just a moment ago on the back straightaway. We avoided a big one back there, Baggy.
Yeah, Sam Mayer got moved, and he immediately darted for the bottom. Car did not spin. He was able to collect the car, hammer down for him, but he lost about a dozen spots as Sam Mayer, Shane Van Gisbergen also as well. Right now, the leader screamed down the back straightaway. 3-car breakaway up front, led by Ryan Truex.
He's got A.J. Allmendinger in tow, as well as Parker Kligerman, but again, a huge shove for Anthony Alfredo, who's now leading the inside lane. He pulls up to second, side by side with A.J. Allmendinger.
They are making the way off turn number 4, 11 laps to go in this one. Allmendinger, no stranger at the front of the field here at Daytona. He's been leading at the white flag 3 of the last 6 races here, but failed to win all 3. Trying to change that here tonight.
This is the point of the race where you start deciding who your friends are going to be down the stretch. A.J. Allmendinger trying to squeeze down across the nose of Anthony Alfredo. He does so, or that's Truex rather, to hang on to the lead as they make their way to turn 2.
Ryan Truex making some very aggressive moves, top to bottom, bottom to top. Here he comes, top to bottom again. He's going to throw the block on Alfredo. Allmendinger, though, will power to his outside.
Big time move for AJ, who's got Parker Kligerman in his rearview mirror. They take that top spot away, is now side by side for second. Kligerman tries to side drive, but Truex hangs on to second.
Boy, just a moment ago, the bagman said Truex making aggressive moves. I think everybody now making aggressive moves. 10 to go at Daytona. A.J. Allmendinger back out front.
Parker Kligerman continues to be glued to his back bumper. It's been impressive to watch the two of them tonight. Two drivers working as one, making all the right moves to keep themselves in contention. How long will it last as we get down to crunch time?
Those two have power to the lead in the outside line. They are 1 and 2. Riley Herbst right behind them will race alongside Ryan Truex. He'll lose another spot, and another, and another. Truex is trying to regroup.
Truex has the parachute out, but he finds the back or front bumper of AJ, or Justin Allgaier, I should say, on the bottom groove. But again, they're broken up a little bit. Top lane really starting to thunder all four.
And they would like nothing more than to make sure that they can race this one out all the way to the checkered flag amongst themselves. I don't think that's going to happen. Truex, Allmendinger, Alfredo, they begin to get reorganized downstairs.
Now, there's not a chance in the world that that inside line is going to make another run or two before it's over. Truex at the head of the class down there. He is running side by side with Josh Williams. That's the battle for 6th place.
And that will stay side by side out of 2. 5-car breakaway up front, and that's where all the calm racing is happening. On the tail end of the top 10, they're double wide, they're bouncing off each other, but they keep it in the straight line off the end of the back straightaway.
Tip of the cap to Kyle Weatherman, who's moved his car all the way inside the top 5, and here comes Truex leading that bottom lane, getting back up to the 3rd spot, racing Riley Herbst.
8 laps to go. A.J. Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman have been chained together since we put them under the green flag. They stay that way with Riley Herbst right behind. Dave, the battle's going to be for 4th with Ryan Truex. He's got company there.
Truex slowly but surely climbing the ladder again. He's up to 3rd. The leaders slide down to put the block on him. He changes lanes and goes to the outside. Here comes Truex now for the number 2 spot.
And that A.J. Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman draft has been broken up. Here's A.J. Allmendinger going to pull to the bottom, trying to get reattached to Kligerman, while now Truex will lead the outside lane.
And that's because Kligerman's got a big shot from Justin Allgaier. Chevrolet's on the bottom of the racetrack as A.J. pulls down to protect Parker. That leaves the top side open. Here comes Ryan Truex looking for the lead.
Going to be 7 laps to go when they get to the start-finish line. Wheel to wheel for the top spot. As a matter of fact, they're double wide for nearly the entire lead track. Bottom side gets the advantage by half a car length. A.J. Allmendinger back to the lead.
Allmendinger trying to hang on to that low line. He's got drafting help back intact from Kligerman. They'll go to the inside now on Truex. Truex battling up high. Drafting help from Riley Herbst. They're dead even for the lead.
Seesawing battle for the lead now. The inside line will surge forward, then the outside outside line will kick in. Right now, they are dead even. A.J. Allmendinger on the bottom. Ryan Truex topside for the lead in Daytona.
It's all about who stayed connected longer. And right now, that bottom group starting to find a surge of momentum led by A.J. Allmendinger, Parker Kligerman, and Justin Allgaier. But Truex has got Riley Herbst in tow.
With 6 laps to go, A.J. Allmendinger has led more laps tonight than anybody else. If he's not leading the last lap, it won't matter one bit to him. A.J. working down to the inside. Parker Kligerman right there. So is Justin Allgaier.
Allmendinger, trunk full of Kligerman, will go back to the lead by a full car length. Kligerman now side by side for second. That's the battle. Up high, it's Truex.
Truex will lead the outside line. A.J. Allmendinger to the bottom of the racetrack. Parker Kligerman right behind Allmendinger down low. Inside line has the advantage so far as everybody screams up the end of the back straightaway.
Allmendinger down on the bottom side of the racetrack, but here comes a huge shove on the outside groove. Oh, we got trouble. Trouble in turn number 3 and 4. Anthony Alfredo hard against the outside wall. Also spinning and colliding down to the inside is several race cars. Cesar Baccarella's involved. Patrick Emmerling's involved. Shane Van Gisbergen coming to a stop as there's calamity off of turn number 3 and 4.
Hard racing with 5 laps to go, and the Wawa 250 results in a big crash over in turn number 4 in front of Chris Wilner.
Anthony Alfredo getting turned, Alex, into the outside wall, and that just started a chain reaction that included Josh Balicki as well, who came to a stop at my feet in turn number 4, currently sitting still in the chute on his way to the front straightaway. Cesar Baccarella's wounded race car, but a shower of sparks at the top of the racetrack as several cars colliding with the outside group, and Anthony Alfredo, who had a heck of a night, got swept up in this one here late with 5 laps to go.
Caution flag number 6 comes out with 5 laps to go. Stay with us. We may be headed to overtime. Regardless, we're headed to a wild finish here tonight at Daytona. Four to go. Under the caution flag, it is Ryan Truex leading over A.J. Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Parker Kligerman, and Chandler Smith. That is your top 5 from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Well, it all broke out over in turn number 4. It looked like, and this is unconfirmed, that perhaps Anthony Alfredo may have had a tire going down. He tried to save that car right in the middle. You could see him in that car working it side to side, just trying to keep it underneath him. Slowed dramatically and everybody behind Anthony would just flat out nowhere to go.
Yeah, you're right. He was in the middle of a 3-wide deal, and that was just a bad deal, Steve Post, for Anthony Alfredo.
He was having such a good run in the Dude Wife's car, and he just talked on the radio, and he said, I really feel like going into turn number 3, I had a tire going down. And watching the replays on NASCAR TV, he lost a couple of spots and was weaving that car back and forth. So all indications are that Alfredo had a tire going down, and that caused a lot of movement there behind him. And unfortunately, a couple of those moves got hooked together, and that's why we had the big problem over in turn number 4.
Well, that big problem continues, Chris Wilner, because it's going to take us a minute or two to get this place cleaned up and be able to get back under the green flag.
Yeah, well, Jeff, I thought I've seen enough Speedy Dry for one evening, but apparently we're in due for some more as the sweeper trucks and the Speedy Dry gets laid back down almost in the exact same spot it was after that lap 1 incident that Akinori Ogata left that trail of fluid, and it's the same Speedy Dry trail all the way from the exit of turn number 4 all the way down into the pit lane here at Daytona International Speedway. So it's going to take a couple minutes to get the sweepers to roll this back in, but certainly a lot of fluid left by both Cesar Vaccarella's car and another car that made its way on the wrecker down on pit road.
And they are bringing more safety vehicles out as well, and they're going to stop the field on the short chute just shy of the 31 degrees of banking in turn number 1. We are, in fact, going to be going to overtime here tonight in the Wawa 250. Well, we got to get this track cleaned up and get it raceable one more time.
So as we sit with the cars down in turn number 1, it's Truex, Ryan Truex over AJ Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Parker Kligerman, Chandler Smith, top 5. Justin Allgaier sits 6th, Sheldon Creed 7th, Ryan Sieg 8th, Kyle Weatherman and Jordan Anderson. How about a run by Kyle and Jordan tonight, running this late into the event, putting themselves in that position we talk about all the time. Mike Bagley, weigh in on this. You work to put yourself in position when it matters the most. And if we talk just about Kyle Weatherman and Jordan Anderson, they've done that as they sit 9-10 on the field right now.
It's amazing what this racing and this racetrack can do for drivers like that. But you're also dealing with a bunch of drivers that are used to being in control of everything. And this racetrack, there's so much that's out of a driver's control, for the good and for the bad, that we just saw out of turn number 4. But for those two drivers that you just mentioned, what a banner night for them. I'm sure that they're hoping they can bring their cars home inside of the top 10. But as you know, even though there's only a couple of laps left when we go overtime racing in Daytona, that 5 miles can feel like an eternity, and a lot can happen in that 5 miles.
It absolutely can, and Dave Moody, it all starts heading off into turn number 1.
Well, it really does, and a lot of it depends on who you've got on your back bumper trying to give you that push. The outside lane, I think, Alex, has been slightly better as we've gotten a little later in this race, but particularly with Ryan Truex on the bottom, that low line can give them a run that it give them all they want, and then maybe a little bit more here if we get down to green, white, checker flag territory.
Alex Hayden, no surprise, headed to overtime here tonight at Daytona. It will be overtime number 21. You mentioned much earlier in the event that this is the 66th running of this event for the NASCAR Xfinity Series here, and now we will have 21 of them end in overtime. So no surprise, we're headed there. What are the crew chiefs thinking here as we get ready to go?
Yeah, let's find out right now with our pit reporters, starting in the midsection with Brad Gilley.
Tyler Allen's crew chief for Ryan Truex. As soon as that caution came out, you said, I think we're in the lead. You guys are. The big question is, an overtime restart, you're going to need some help. Who do you think is back there to help?
Well, it's kind of their decision behind us, so that's what we're working through. We've been going through the scenarios on the radio, and we're just going to have to see who chooses behind us. But we got a really fast car, so I think we'd be a good choice.
You've won with a lot of drivers already this year, but Ryan and the way he's raced his way through the field, especially after the first pit stop issue you guys have, what can you say about him and what he's doing behind the wheel of that race car?
Oh, it's incredible. You know, we got behind there on the pit stop, and he drove from 23rd to 3rd in a couple laps, and we were back in it. It's really good. Spotter's working really good. I think the chemistry is just really strong with this team.
All right, there he is, Tyler Allen, crew chief for race leader Ryan Truex. How about you, Alan Cavana?
Well, Parker Kligerman has been up front all night, scored points in both stages. His crew chief, Patrick Donahue, is with me now. You've been a good pusher. You've been good, aggressive up front, but can you be in the lead? What do you know about your car?
I mean, the spike coolers, Chevrolet's been really good all night. Didn't qualify where we wanted to, but Parker's done great. The pit crew's done well. We've kept the thing up in track position all day, right where we wanted to be at the end. Didn't want that caution to come out, but I mean, we're trying to be aggressive. People are throwing some pretty big blocks in front of us, but I mean, green, white, checkered, anything's going to happen. But all we can do is put it up front like we have these other races, and hopefully it works out this time, because the last couple times we've been up front, it hasn't worked out for us. So we got enough gas, we got enough race car, we just got to put it in position.
You don't have teammates here on the 48. Do you have allies out there?
Well, clearly the Gibbs cars are really good, and they're set to work together. I don't know that the 16 is really an ally, but you know, we got to just do the best we can. If we bring more guns to the fight, we probably got a better chance. But for what we got, we're doing great. I'm super proud of everybody here.
All right, Parker's been a good help all night. We'll see what he can do to get the victory, guys.
Alan Cavana and Brad Gilley down there on pit road. We'll hear from the postman coming up shortly. That is the trio that have been working for you tonight. They'll be back with you tomorrow when we do run, indeed, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. You got Dave Moody, Mike Bagley, and Chris Wilner in the turns tonight. Again, they'll be back with you as we go under the lights for the NASCAR Cup Series. My name is Jeff Striegel. Alongside is Alex Hayden. We're headed to overtime. Ryan Truex, AJ Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Parker Kligerman, and Chandler Smith as we sit under the red. That's your top five. Back with more in a moment. You're not missing a thing other than the cleanup that continues down in turn number 4 from Daytona International Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. So we sit back here at Daytona, or come back here and sit and wait, because cleanup is extensive down in turn number 4. Once we do, we'll get them back under the green flag and wrap it up here tonight. It's been a good one so far. What do we expect as we move into overtime? Postman, what are you hearing?
Well, let's find out. Davin Restivo is the crew chief for Riley Herbst. I'm going to go back during this race. How much work did you have to do on the race car? You had some contact here on pit road, and just describe the recovery that this team has made.
Yeah, it's been a good night overall. I mean, we had that first pit stop, we had some damage, and the balance was off a little bit, which summer race in Daytona, you know, it's getting a little more worn out every time we come back here and start wearing tires. So we put 4 on it and got hit in the left rear. But I mean, right now the car's pretty good.
How do you approach this overtime? Friends, let Riley do it. What's the call here?
Well, right now it's every man for themselves, right? So I think what you're going to see is the 20 is going to take the bottom, the 60 is going to take the top, the Chevys will go with him, and we'll be mixed with a bag of Toyotas and us. So we'll see what happens.
Wish you well.
Thank you.
There we go. That's Devin Restivo. He is the crew chief for Riley Herbst, and this team has done a great job getting this car back in working condition after that collision with Cole Custer on pit road. And now they're racing for the win here at Daytona.
As is Chandler Smith, who started tonight's race from pole position. Let's hear from his pit box with Alan Cavana.
And he's managed to stay up front all night, running in 5th right now under this red flag. I'm with his crew chief, Jeff Mendering. A lot of Toyotas up front. How pivotal will that be for these last few laps?
Yeah, I know all these Gibbs cars up in the top 11, that's a pretty big deal, especially for our company. I feel like we've been behind a little bit on our speedway stuff, and I think our guys, our body guys, our engine guys, everybody went to work, and we brought a lot better race cars this time. So, yeah, I feel pretty good about the position we're in right now.
You told me earlier your driver, Chandler Smith, does a great job of being patient, even if it's against his nature. Is the time for patience over?
Oh, yeah, for sure. 2 laps to go. I mean, it's every man for himself at this point. But, no, I do like the fact that we've got some teammates, and hopefully we can work together and pull this one off.
The 81 is fast, and he's got friends up there, guys.
No time for patience once we go back under the green flag. We are headed for overtime. We work under the red flag at the moment. Truex, A.J. Allmendinger, Riley Herbst, Parker Kligerman, Chandler Smith. That is your top 5. So we sit continuing under the red flag. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll hear from the crew chief, a driver that would love to go to victory lane. If he can do it, it will be for the very first time. More on that in a moment. From Daytona International Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. Red flag withdrawn, yellow lights back on, cars rolling, and that's the good news. Also going to have to wave off a couple more visits with crew chiefs. We were hoping to catch up with the crew chief for Sheldon Creed. And Postman, I'll still come to you on it. You are ready to go down there. Sheldon Creed looking for career win #1. He has been close countless times.
Yeah, close call-less times here at Daytona. Has 2 straight second-place finishes here at Daytona. Had a second-place run at Michigan. And, you know, what they did, and Sam McCauley's the crew chief, has done a really nice job with his team. And they pitted on that last caution and put 4 new tires on. The car was not all that good. It was very, very loose. They felt like there was no chance of winning it with the condition the car was in and the track position they have. And right now, Sheldon Creed is 7th spot. He's up there in that brigade of Toyotas that we've talked about. So he's certainly in the hunt, is in the mix, and he's got a pretty good race car. So we will see what happens. I'm telling you, bless his heart, Sheldon Creed, we've interviewed him for second place so many times. I cannot wait for someone to grab him in victory lane, and maybe tonight's the night, as he's been so close, so many times, and so many times here at Daytona.
If he or any one of those Toyota GR Supras is going to get to victory lane, they are going to break a long Daytona winless drought here in the Xfinity Series. Toyota has not won here at Daytona since July of 2013. 11 years ago, and Matt Kenseth, NASCAR Hall of Famer, was the driver that did that. So they have got a dubious honor if they want to try to go ahead and break that and start a new streak here in Daytona.
Well, they're going to have to work with somebody. I mean, that's for sure. You know, you're like Baggy has said all along, it's going to come down to who is willing to work with who, and AJ and Parker Kligerman have worked together very well tonight.
They have, and they've been locked together for the better part of the evening, whether it's Allmendinger in front of Kligerman the majority of the time, or Kligerman taking his turn in front of Allmendinger, but they have worked well together. What was interesting, though, as we heard from Parker Kligerman's crew chief, Patrick Donahue, as they were talking out there, that not necessarily Allmendinger as an ally, in his opinion. There were some other cars out there that he named off, did not necessarily name A.J. Allmendinger. Pit lane is open this time by. I don't expect anybody at the front of the field to come in. There are some cars well back in the running order that are indeed beginning to peel off the racetrack and come to pit road. So we are in overtime here in the Wawa 250.
A.J. Allmendinger is good here. A.J. is very good here. When you take a look at his last 5 starts on this super speedway, all of them have been top 10. He's been runner-up twice. He's finished 3rd. He's finished 5th. He's done everything at this level except go to victory lane. Yeah,
he has, and you know, when you look at that, that is an impressive number for him. But he's obviously an ace, is Allmendinger, but not getting to victory lane here at Daytona. That's one of them that's been a stinger multiple times for him.
Let's talk about Ryan Truex Jr. He has one, or Ryan Truex. He has one top 10 finish here. That came in 2018, but, you know, to be fair, he's only made 5 starts here at Daytona at this level, but he's had a solid run, mistake-free run so far here tonight.
He has indeed, and he's one of a number of drivers that have taken their turn driving the number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota here in the Xfinity Series this season. Picked up the win at Dover Motor Speedway back at the end of the month of April. So Truex is a driver that's helped this car in the Owners' Championship here this season. John Hunter Nemechek's raced the car. Eric Almirola's raced the car. Ty Gibbs has raced this car. Christopher Bell's done it as well. So it has been a who's who to run that car.
All right, let's talk briefly about Riley Herbst. By the way, 1 to go when they get back to the line. So we'll be back under the green flag in a lap and a quarter. Overtime to settle it here tonight at Daytona. Riley Herbst is a driver that would love to go to victory lane here at Daytona. He has never done that at any level. He's run trucks here. He's run the Cup Series here, and he's now, of course, running in the Xfinity Series. This is his 11th start. That is the perfect example of just how inconsistent Daytona can be to drivers. You've got a good run one moment. The next time you're here, you're on a transporter going home, disappointed. The following year, you got a good run, repeat. Well, obviously tonight he'd like to have a very good run and find victory lane at Daytona for the first time.
Here we go with the opportunity to choose what lane to restart in. Truex will go to the inside, and A.J. Allmendinger will go topside. Riley Herbst will go to the back bumper now of the inside row of current race leader Ryan Truex. And those orange and white Chevrolets, Jeff, yet again, are going to hook up.
And you're talking about Allmendinger and Parker Kligerman outside lane, and they have been good tonight. And again, Dave, let's have you weigh in on this. You've been calling it all night. You get AJ and Parker Kligerman hooked up together, and that's a tough duo.
They've spent most of their night in the top 3, 4, maybe 5 at worst, and they've done it in large part because they've remained committed to each other. Whether that continues all the way to the drop of the checkered flag or not remains to be seen. But right now, clearly both of them, Mike Bagley, think that they are each other's best bet.
And they have been all night long. But we are going into overtime. And at the end of these races, all bets are off. We'll get you to a certain point, and then it's every driver for himself or herself. And, well, right now on the racetrack, they've worked together a lot tonight. It's going to be interesting to see when that friendship will dissolve as we get closer to this checkered flag.
And Chris Wilner in turns 3 and 4, there's been some incidents out there tonight, and that's also the opportunity. One final shot to put the block on that you need, or perhaps even put the move on to go to victory lane.
100% Alex Hayden, and certainly for your race leader, Ryan Truex, he's got nothing to lose. There's no playoff in his, season here in 2024 as a part-time driver, so he's just thinking about one thing, and that's taking home the checkered flag here at the World Center of Racing, and he will do whatever he needs to do to get the job done. He's got Riley Herbst lined up behind him in the second row on the inside, and one of the fastest cars all night long, Justin Allgaier. Going to be fun to watch with Truex and Allmendinger in front row.
Overtime here at Daytona in the Wawa 250. Let's hope this is the only overtime attempt we have tonight as the pace car makes its way to pit lane.
Here we go tonight at Daytona at the International Speedway as we get ready to settle it here tonight. Green flag goes in the air. Overtime at Daytona, 2 to go. On the outside, it's AJ Allmendinger. Right behind him, Parker Kligerman. To the inside, it is Ryan Truex.
They are side by side heading for turn number 1. Nobody with so much of an advantage now. Here comes Truex to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got the lead now by a car length. Riley Herbst goes to the inside of AJ Allmendinger. Outside line, not rolling quite yet. Now they begin to pick up speed.
And Truex throws the block. He'll jump up in front of Allmendinger halfway down the back straightaway. Ryan Truex leads. Dinger, Kligerman, and now they're side by side for 4th.
3 cars here leading the train on the top side of the racetrack, but on the bottom, Riley Herbst gets a shove from Justin Allgaier. Herbst up to position number 3 leading the bottom, but it's Ryan Truex with the white flag.
Truex has the field in control right now. Everybody in the rear view mirror. White flag goes in the air. Next flag ends the race. Truex on the outside lane. Allmendinger, Kligerman goes 2nd and 3rd.
Truex running that high line, just trying to shut off the possible advance by AJ Allmendinger. AJ drops to the bottom, across the nose of...
Trouble turn number 1. AJ Allmendinger got turned going into the corner. Allmendinger slides up the racetrack, pounds the outside wall.
Caution flag around this racetrack, and it came out after the white flag. Caution flag at the start-finish line. We'll wait and see who was out front. It looked like Truex, but we'll wait and see if it was indeed Ryan Truex. AJ Allmendinger spun going in to turn number 1 to bring out the caution flag. The winner in just a moment. First, we need to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, live on the Motor Racing Network, and it is over and it is official. The 32-year-old driver, Ryan Truex, has scored the win tonight in the Wawa 250, powered by Coca-Cola. An accident going off in turn number 1 has ended it, and Truex is the winner. Let's go to pit road.
Tyler Allen, the race-winning crew chief yet again this year. Not even your first win with Ryan Truex, but my gosh, he seemed to have a car that he could control anywhere in the field here tonight. What do you think of what we just witnessed?
This is one of the best Speedway cars we've ever had. It's really nice to get a Speedway win. This is my first. It's a couple of our guys' first, so Ryan did a great job. Tyler up on the roof. It was an incredible day.
Congratulations on another trip to victory lane.
Thank you very much.
He's done it with multiple drivers. His first win as a crew chief for Tyler Allen actually came in Las Vegas earlier this year, and he just simply hasn't stopped, guys.
And Toyota has won at Daytona for the first time in 11 years, and Ryan Truex is going to park that car in victory lane.
And Ryan Truex about to start his celebration right at the start-finish line. Ryan, the younger brother to Martin Truex Jr., and during Martin's retirement announcement, he mentioned he wants to help his younger brother out, give him opportunities. Well, there's another opportunity that Ryan Truex has capitalized on. He is back in victory lane, and now he's at the most famous stock car track in the world, Daytona International Speedway.
Toward the crowd goes Ryan Truex. He gets the checkered flag and now returns to the Supra that took him to victory lane. Kind of parked halfway on the apron, halfway on the banking here. That's actually quite a bit of skill, the car trying to hold in gear right now. Ryan has a 25% win average in 2024. 2 for 8 now as he's won at Dover. He's one of the most famous racetrack in NASCAR. Ryan, what does this mean to you? You got it done tonight at Daytona.
I'm thirsty.
Yes, you are. Should be.
Oh my gosh, man. Thanks to these fans. It's so amazing to race here. I was in the Toyota suite earlier, and one of the guys in there, it was his birthday, and he said I would win on his birthday. I told him if I won, I'd shout him out. So shout out to you. I don't know which one he's in, but it's the Toyota suite. Just thanks to these guys, man. I don't get to race that often. I don't know what I'm going to do next year. It's all a work in progress, but just a great car. We've worked hard on our super speedway stuff. Daytona, Atlanta, I feel like we were behind the 8 ball, and we came here all qualified well, all raced well. Shout out to Tyler up on the roof. What an amazing spotter. He drove this car. I just turned the steering wheel. So thanks to him, Xfinity Internet, everybody at JGR, Toyota, TRD. I can't believe this. I felt good this week coming in, and I knew we'd have a shot, and I feel like every time I'm here, I just end up making a dumb mistake or get caught up in a wreck. So I'm just glad we finished one out.
How do you stay with it? Because the other drivers, they've had 22 races this year. You've had 8. How do you, and this is precision stuff. How do you do it?
I got to give a lot of credit to the sim group at JGR. I run a lot of sim laps during the week. That's my day job, basically, is driving the simulator at TRD. So I learned a lot on that. They've taught me a lot. Being able to look at Cup guys' data and video and what things they do. I've become a better driver in the past 3 years with these guys, racing less than I ever have, just because I've learned so much and just have such great people around me. So shout out to all those guys. I hope they're watching. And I'll be seeing them Tuesday at 7 a.m.
And credit to Ryan. That information gets passed along to all of his teammates. The Toyotas were fast tonight at Daytona. And Ryan Truex is a winner at the World Center of Racing.
And Parker Kligerman will come home just a little bit short. Top 5 finish, though, for you. When you got out of the car, I saw you slam your fist on the roof. What's the frustration? Take me through that last lap and what you need to do maybe differently.
I just feel like I've put myself in position time after time, and this race team has helped me do that. And in this moment, I'm going to see the replay here for the first time. I go left, and he tries to come with me. So I hate it. AJ and I mean, we were awesome. We were the best 2 that weren't Toyotas all day. And I just had a run, and I had to go, and I felt like it was a run I had to take to try and put myself on the bottom to win this race. I felt like the bottom was going to win it into 4. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do there. So I hate it. I love him like a brother. You know, he and I have been in this for a long time together, and I don't want to turn someone like that. But I would have liked to have been able to finish on a green as well. You know, we had such a strong Spike 4 Chevy, this fast Xfinity Internet, and it just – we did everything right. We never let it lap, but I got to think we were probably the most in the top 3. So we had a really strong car, strong night and overall. But, God, I just want to win one of these damn things so bad.
Frustrating, but to your point, it was a really good points night. You'll leave plus 44. How big is that for the team after the penalty incurred earlier in the week?
Oh, yeah, it's huge. You know, I mean, this was a big, important night, and it was a big opportunity. You know, last year we came in a worse position and had a big night. something about Daytona in the summer I love, but I don't know. None of it feels like it even matters without a win. I got to win one of these damn races. This is ridiculous at this point. I just want to win.
Marty, this night feels bittersweet for Parker Kligerman.
We're going to grab a word with Chandler Smith, but first he's going to give Ryan Truex a big high five for the win there. Kind of walk us through that last lap, and you were pushing Parker when the 16 made the move on him.
Yeah, I was getting pushed from behind, just trying to time my run precisely to where I could have timed it right and still had enough forward momentum to poke bottom, and then it looked like the 16 started going to the bottom, and it just was all bad pushes at that same time. I was getting pushed from out back. There wasn't much I could do. I was already squirmy, so just extremely, extremely happy for everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing. I say this in a very nice way. We have not been good on super speedways for a very, very, very long time on the Xfinity program. And we went to Indy, was solid, had our break, went to Michigan, and was firing on all cylinders. And then we came here today and sat on the pole. That's huge for us. And now that we're sitting in victory lane, just a huge statement to all the men and women back at the shop. So just really, really fast, number 81, Quick Type Products GR Super. It was as fast as Xfinity Internet today. Just couldn't time my run good enough, and just wasn't meant in the cards for today.
He mentioned the turnaround for Joe Gibbs Racing. Ryan Truex mentioned it as well, but JGR clearly showed up here in Daytona, Dave.
Jordan Anderson has showed up twice at Daytona this year. Man, 6th today after a great run in February as well. How good does this feel?
Yeah, I'll take it. You know, to finish 4th here in February, to come here 6th now. I don't get to do this much, you know. I'm sitting on the pit box every week watching Jeb and Parker, and, you know, you guys at home, when I get a chance to do this, you got to make the most of it. So we had Volpe Foods jump on board. They're sponsoring me here in Talladega. These are my only 2 races I got left this year, and had Larry Mack back on the box. So what a phenomenal night, you know, to come out of here. They told me if you bring the car back clean, you can run Talladega. So I think other than maybe a few scratches, we're clean. So, but what a night. Had a lot of fun, a crazy race. I was really hoping, I saw whoever it was spun to the inside. I'm like, man, please let us get back to the checker, because you never know what could happen in 3 and 4. And we were like in a perfect spot to maybe jump the middle or go through there. But our entire team did a great job building a fast car, and it was good all night. I could go wherever I wanted to. And I hate Jeb and Parker got caught up there earlier in the night, but what a fun night. I mean, you see we got a sea of blue behind us with Volpe here, a lot of people here tonight, so it means a lot for them to be here to support me. And all you fans at home, I'm excited. Maybe I can do a little more of this, you know, to get 2 top 10s here at Daytona. I love this place. I remember when I first came here with my dad when I was 6, when the dog track was here. We camped out in the back of his Tahoe and made a weekend out of it. So anytime you come here, it's the history of the sport and everything here is just phenomenal. And appreciate all the fans that stuck through all the weather this weekend. And hope you guys at home like that, because that was a pretty crazy race, wasn't it?
We did like it. We look forward to seeing Jordan Anderson at Talladega. The owner wins in one of his cars. Or wins. It's like a win, Kim. 6th in one of his cars tonight.
Well, for the 2nd straight week, Ryan Sieg and his team have a very solid night. 5th place finish here. What have you guys been building that we've seen this uptick in performance recently?
Yeah, no, we've just been chasing points. We've been doing executing stages 1 and 2 the past few races. And stage 3, we kind of fell off. We would have been a whole lot more ahead of the 8 with those other races, but you know what I mean. It's been great. We've been doing what we need to do, and then come out of here with a top 5 where we should be running. But finally, we've got some momentum. Hopefully, we can continue it. We've been running really well. Just got to keep executing and keep it there at the stage 3 and try to, I guess, point our way in and you know what I mean. Just do all we can do and try to win one of these races out of the before we start the playoffs. But all in all, great night for our SciAps Ford.
And maybe the most important part of the night, Marty, they hopscotch over that elimination line, now sit in that final playoff position.
I'm not sure where to start with this night for Riley Herbst. The spin on pit road when Cole Custer made contact with you, and then the drive back through the field in stage 2. How would you describe this evening?
Yeah, it was kind of like our season so far. Marty just up and down. I'm really proud of everybody on the 98 team. We just weren't that good. The first stage, second stage, we got it better, and we had that incident on pit road, like you said. And third stage, I thought we were going to have a shot at it, but we still just were a little too bound up, too tight in the center, and we need a little bit more pace here on these plate tracks. So hopefully we'll go to work at Stewart-Haas Racing and get ready for Talladega in the playoffs. But I'm looking forward to these next few tracks with everybody here on the 98 team, and hopefully we can go close that points gap.
After a chaotic night, winds up being a 4th for Riley Herbst.
Big night for Riley. Let's take a look at the playoff standings. These are unofficial as they're still looking at the finishing order of everyone, but as we look at it, Parker Kligerman has a good night, now 44 points above Sammy Smith. Ryan Sieg also increasing that lead over the cut line, 15 points separating them. We saw a lot of chaos. We heard the drivers talk about the chaos. What about the chaos that we have seen here before with the Cup Series?
41 took a hell of a tumble.
As soon as the car takes off, it just gets really quiet, and you're along for the ride from there.
He's going to be sore.
Crash, bad. Talk to me if you can. That's a lot of flips. So much for staying on the ground. Oh, shit. Wow.
Did he get out? It's too tough to do anything but.
I just knew when he went airborne it wasn't going to be very good. It was a lot worse than what I thought it was going to be.
By far, the most violent I've seen a car flip in a long time.
Really, really blessed to be here and be okay.
You never know what is going to happen here at Daytona. We see Ryan Truex celebrating now for this win, but tomorrow, 7 o'clock, it gets underway with Countdown to Green 7:30 for the race, again on NBC and streaming live on Peacock. And a reminder, you will see live coverage of every green flag lap from tomorrow's race.